We up. What's good,
Going
bro?
on, brother? Hell yeah.
I didn't write any fucking questions for this one. For Isaiah, I wrote like 30 questions.
Yeah.
And then I was like, as soon as we started, I didn't even look at one of them. I was like, this is dumb. Like,
right.
why did I
We
even
just-
do this?
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like, my Wardlow.
just chilling with the homies, you know?
Yeah. I saw Caden, your background. He's got the braids.
He just cut him. He had his braids for 2 years. And then one day he woke up and said, I want to cut my hair. He said all of his friends need to meet the short-haired version of him. I said, all right, bro, whatever that means.
Got split
dude.
personalities.
Yeah, I guess, dude. He goes from Travis Scott with the braids to Harry Potter with the short hair. So
That's so funny.
yeah.
He looked good with the braids. He looked so much. I thought it was you when you were younger. When I saw it for a second, I was like, whoa. But I was like, wow, he looked a lot like
that
you.
that was our New York trip. We tried to do like destination vacation every summer, and he went with his mom. He went to some nice cool island, got the island breeze. So he didn't want to do nothing crazy with me, so we just did our weekend trip to New York.
What did you guys do when you were in New York?
We did what did we do this time? Because we've gone a few times. So this time we were on the hunt for Asian food. So we were looking for the best dumpling places, the best, ramen spots, things like that. And then we walked like 60 blocks, dude. We walked to I'm blanking on the name of the park. It's like the Central Park. Dude,
the big one.
that's the one. So we were like, I'm talking 60 blocks, like at a hotel somewhere, and we were just walking. And next thing you know, we both look up. We're like, is that Central Park?
Fuck yeah, dude. Central Park is so sick.
Yeah, so we just walked around there, got lost for a couple hours. It was fun. Good times.
Nice.
Yeah, always.
I had some crazy dumplings in New York at this place called Shanghai Deluxe, which is like the funniest name, I feel like, because it's just like Shanghai Deluxe.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, what kind of dumplings? Just like regular, like pork dumplings, or were they soup dumplings?
Soup dumpling. Yeah.
Soup dumplings.
Soup dumplings, so fire. Yeah, it was a nice. It's one of those spots too. I can't recall the name, but you don't think you're gonna get what you get when you go there. You know what I mean? Some like that place, Deluxe. You think it's like some type of gas station side spot. You know what I mean?
The only places that put Deluxe in their name usually are places that are certainly not Deluxe.
Right. No, yeah, but this one was pretty good. I think it was like rated 4.6. So yeah, we like to get ourselves into different adventures and kind of no planning really involved. Just like pick a spot, spend a few days, see what happens.
I remember you guys went to Texas too.
Yeah, Texas was fun.
How was that? What did you guys do in Texas?
So we stayed in Waco, which is kind of like the central point to if you wanted to go, as south as San Antonio, which we did. I rented a car. We went out there specifically for the barbecue and for the capybara. So we got a fair dose of all that. Stayed in a really cool Airbnb, like a farmhouse style. Had animals in the backyard. We could feed the animals. It was a good week for sure. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I really want to spend some time in Texas. We've kind of been talking about it, like places we would move eventually. Like I always wanted to go to New York, but kind of realized it's like so dumb to spend like $12K to get out there. Basically, like first, next, last alone. Like not even like moving fees.
You're not
or
even
anything.
getting started.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
You're just breaking even. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been talking about Texas just because it's like a lot cheaper living, less taxes, like long term, like eventually, like maybe moving somewhere once we have some money so we can like buy a property, buy some land. Because she loves like animals, so like it'd be cool to get like a barn with like horses and chickens and goats and shit, like long term down the line. And also, what's dope is the Michelin guy just started going to Texas, so now you can get Michelin stars in Texas, which for me is like now that's a place I would set up. Like I'd actually like invest in a restaurant there, like because that was what it was attractive to me about New York and California and Chicago is like you can earn Michelin stars there,
right?
And also Michelin star restaurants are there, which is just fun. Like I love eating at places like that.
See, I've never.
But now Texas, some people don't give a fuck. Like
my dad, it's something I don't care. I just never even thought to.
Yeah, dude, we should go to one sometime.
Yo, I'm down.
I still think we should do a New York trip.
I think so.
Me, you, fucking James.
Yeah, whoever.
Whoever, bro.
Yeah, whoever's down. Yeah. Adults only, man.
Yeah. Served well New York trip.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. No, though.
For the sake of the podcast, he's gonna go by. Yeah. But yeah. So I've talked to him about that too. The thing about when we were in Waco, they had this little shopping center, and like off to the side of the shopping center was like an indoor cafeteria style type thing where you could you could rent like a little trailer space inside. You set up a restaurant in there. There was a bunch of different types of food. So it's kind of like a food court, but not like a ghetto mall food court. It's
Right.
like fire
More like
food.
independent people that are kind of like setting up shop there.
Right.
like, for
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
term.
It's short term if you're trying to get like an actual restaurant going. And you want to start somewhere. They have all the spots. And it's seems like it's always summer, always vacation time over there. So it's always bumping. So yeah, we've talked about Texas too.
Yeah, Texas is dope.
Yeah, once he turns 18 and he's done with school, we can kind of figure that out there. But from now on, he just wants to stay local, stay with his friends, his mom, things like that.
I think that's good, especially for kids his age. Like, I think when people move when their kids are still in high school, it can be pretty like damaging.
Yeah.
Like Sana's family just like kind of picked up and moved when they were like, one of them was like a sophomore and one of them was like just entering high school. So it's like fine for the one that's just entering high school, but the one who's halfway through is like,
what are we doing?
Like, now you have no friends and you're moving to a whole different area.
Right. Yeah, you got to start over. Yeah, I've talked to him about that too. He doesn't seem, just because he doesn't know, but he doesn't seem to care either way, where it's like, because we're talking about high school, if he wants to get into the vocational high school, if he doesn't do that, is he going to go to the New Bedford High, the public school, or we're in Dartmouth, so he could go to Dartmouth. Like, he's got his options and stuff. And
which one's better? Like, just like objectively, like as a school, you think?
So for him, I think the vocational school, Voc Tech, just because he doesn't seem to me like he wants to be the college kid, get the degree. He seems to me like he's going to get a job, work, make some money. So and he's obviously interested in the culinary aspect of it, but I didn't go to school for it. I know you did. There's that's pros and cons for both.
Yeah, that's a big separation that I've noticed in the industry. Is like I feel like you're someone who's like chill and like doesn't give a fuck, but like there's some people who I've worked with in the past year who like treat you differently. Like they're just like, oh, this man. Yeah. I'm like, dude, like, the fuck, man. Like a
big bad culinary guy. Show me the different parts of the knife, will ya?
Yeah. Fucking yeah. So it really depends I think it's good for some people. Like for me, it was great because I had no experience and I was just like jumping in. So it gave me a good base.
Right.
And I met the most valuable thing I got like from culinary school at all was just the friends I made.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like now that it's over, it's like, yeah, the techniques, yeah, I use them. You can fucking find them in any of these books. Like you read Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. That's half of culinary school right there. Just like understanding how to season, and it's like you just don't need it necessarily. But for me, I think it was good for me, and the friends I made along the way are definitely like the most valuable thing because you hang out with them. Like they're all doing incredible things, and they're just great assets. Like super cool people.
Yeah, because I feel like staying in the schooling part of it and getting that part of it kind of sets you on a different path to where like, you're, very interested in the Michelin stars and the starting your own business and things like that. And for me, I started from the bottom, front of house, busboy, host. Then I moved to prep, things like that. So for me, I just like the atmosphere and the people always, and obviously I want my own business. It's just I think the schooling kind of sets your mind to have that track of the expertise and the different the different cuts and the different styles of food. And for me, I'm just like I just want my food to taste good, So that's where I'm at. I like doing more fun style food, sandwiches and easy stuff like comfort food.
Yeah, like food people want to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
And
there is something to that though, because some people don't want to sit down and have 10 courses. Some people want to like just go, like my dad is a great example. Like he's like, oh yeah, like all that stuff is cool, but like I just want to plate of chicken parm.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like if you're just hungry, like you want to eat. And I think that's a common thing in Massachusetts and Boston specifically. And why like the Michelin guy doesn't come to Boston, and why people just don't really, even if it did, they wouldn't really give a shit, is because people in Boston are like, hey man, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Like, they just want to eat.
Just want to find a small little spot somewhere, grab something and go. We're very much like a grab and go and hustle and bustle type of environment around here.
Yeah. Whereas New York, I feel like people care a little bit more. Like they want to like go out and be seen at a place. But like I also think that that's dumb because it's like that's not why I'm going to eat at a Michelin star restaurant. I'm going to eat there because it's like I want to like taste the food and like see what the fuck this particular chef is doing, and like it's cool. Like places are innovative and like you get to see different techniques you've never seen, and it's just cool. Like I'm just interested. I guess like I just enjoy food like that. So it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to work in the kitchen like that, just to see the different styles, you know, because I remember one of your first days when you came to us, couldn't have picked a better day, couldn't have picked two better people with me and Carlos.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Carlos.
Shout out Carlos. Rest in peace.
But that was a funny weekend for you.
Yeah. First day grill on a Saturday with Carlos.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, puppy, this is what you do. He's like, you're using the spatula wrong. You have to flip it upside down so you don't scrape the thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And then you dropped your knife and you looked at me in horror, or dropped something crazy happened, and you were like, oh.
Yeah, I like dropped one thing. Well, that's because like at Oscar where I did my externship, it's like when you drop something, they literally just everyone just looks at you and they're just like, don't do that, especially during service. But so that's like that was my like base, which is good in some ways, but then it's also like, I mean, I was slowing for the first 6 months that I was there, like, because I'm slow as fuck, because there they want you to take your time. Like they don't care if you spend 2.5 hours on a project as long as it's perfect.
Right.
Like cleaning lichen is the example I always say, because it's like, you know, lichen, it grows on trees. It's like a moss.
Right.
And we get it in these big garbage bags and it comes in and there's spiders and sticks and like it grows on the forest floor. So it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
But you soak it twice and then you move it to the middle one and then you pick through it submerged underwater with tweezers. And you get all the dead bugs out. You get all the pine cones out, all the pine needle, everything. You make it clean. And then you cut it in a little section. And I remember the first time I did it, Chef Chris was like, this is something that could take you 3 hours if you let it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll just go fast and I'll do it as fast as I can. It took me 3.5 hours the first time I did it.
Wow.
Yeah. But by the end, it took me 90 minutes and I was the only extern that was allowed to do it because you just get reps. Like that's the most important thing that I found, like fine dining or not, everything is just reps. Yeah. Like genuinely, it's just like how many times you do it and then just like perfecting it, tasting it like over and over again. And that's like really how you just improve. Like
true. That's true. I mean, it's been 19 years for me. So it took me a while to get to where I'm at, but you know, I'm there from the reps. That's all it is. I can think of many shifts where I would fuck something up or do something wrong, or that's how you learn and that's how you grow, and then that's how you become better, because you're like, so one thing that I'll say about me is that like I'll fuck something up, no problem, but I won't fuck it up again.
And that's the most important thing.
You know what
like,
I mean?
It's okay to make a mistake, but not twice. Not the same mistake twice.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, because then it's like, all right, what the
because then it's like you're just like, what are you doing? Like when I see someone do something, like I'm like, you're not even trying. Because if you were trying, you would remember that you made that mistake last week and like you wouldn't do it again. Right.
Yeah. So
what happened with your car? So you got a new car.
Oh, the car story. That's a good one. So this car I had previously,
because I liked your car. I like it was a Toyota.
No, it was a Honda Accord.
But it was a color that I like. I'm not a car guy. I just like the color.
Yeah, the color. Yeah, me too. The color was like a exclusive color until I bought it. Then the car starts popping up everywhere. Like,
I swear to God, as soon as I saw you have it, I was like, dude, that is the sickest car I've seen. And then it was like everywhere I saw it.
It's like GTA when you steal a car and then you're driving around in it and it's everywhere. That's kind of how I felt. So that story goes, I never make food for myself at the end of my shift. I just go home, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. But this particular night, I was like, no, I'm bringing food home, dude. I'm hungry. Make myself a nice blackened chicken Alfredo. Hell yeah, ready to go. Driving home, I should have put it on my floor. I didn't. I put it on the seat, making a turn. As I start turning, there goes the food. I correct myself, to straighten out. Go to reach for the food. Hit a parked car.
Fuck,
I was probably going like 20. Because I wasn't.
Okay, that's not horrible.
But it was an older model car, so that thing was made of like diamond. I hit it, wrecked it. Didn't seem like that much damage to me, but with a new car and all new parts, and I was just coming to the end of my lease, so I was like getting ready to finance it, cheaper payment, everything's going great, man.
That fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. So
at least you're only going like 20 miles an hour though, because if you did that at like 40, like every increment of 10 miles an hour faster you were going,
I would have been
way
hurting.
worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. Yeah.
So then, I hit the car. Fuck. My food didn't spill. So,
okay, well, that, silver lining.
Right. Food doesn't spill. Now I'm stuck waiting for the cops to come, waiting for everybody to come. So I decide to just sit curbside and enjoy my blackened chicken Alfredo, waiting for everybody to show up. And, police show up. What happened here? I'm like, listen, just to get this out of the way, I'm not drunk. I'm not anything. I'm just stupid. I tried saving my dinner. And they're like, what? And I'm like, my food. I had to explain to them. They were nice enough to give me a ride home because I wasn't too far from home.
That's
which
nice.
It always happens that way. Last time, I had bad luck with cars, man. Last time I was driving home from work, and I was working on the Cape, living in New Bedford, driving home, working crazy hours, fell asleep, nodded off for a second, kind of just drifted. Wake up, I'm upside down, airborne. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, my luck with cars is not fun.
That one sounds a little worse.
Yeah,
a lot worse.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was nuts. But
yeah, usually when you flip your car, people don't really do too well. I'm surprised you're like, I'm surprised you're all good.
Dude, yeah, no problems.
That's lucky.
No problems.
Lucky.
I remember crawling to the back seat and poking my head because I smashed out the rear view window. Poking myself out, waving to someone like, "Get me out of here, dude! Get me out of here!" So yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
No, well, I'm glad you're not fucking dead.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. That's when I decided like I don't really want to drive far for work anymore, man.
Yeah, how far were you driving then?
Like 45 an hour.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm done commuting.
Yeah, all done.
I'm kind of similar. Like I've always been like, if I'm gonna work 65 hours or like some crazy amount of hours, like I want to live like within 20 minutes.
Yeah, because then that 65 hours you're not calculating the travel time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for me, that was 2 hours a day, 5 days. That was an extra 10 hours just driving.
Exactly. Then you're at 75 hours that you're basically giving to, and it's like now there's no time to do anything that you want to do.
Right.
Or like
yeah.
just relax.
No time at all.
Yeah.
Still similar now. No time at all, but it's a lot better living 10 minutes away versus an hour away.
You like living in Dartmouth?
Yeah. It's
because you grew up in New Bedford, right?
Yeah, I grew up in New Bedford.
How would you say they're like growing up in New Bedford? Like how did that like influence you? But then also like how like do you like living in Dartmouth now?
So growing up in the city, in an apartment, sometimes it's 3 tenement, which is first, second, third floor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's 2 on each side, so it's 6 tenements. So there's not a lot of privacy, very noisy, a lot of drama, depending on the neighborhood you're living at. I lived all around New Bedford, South End, North End. Definitely makes you makes it important for you to be aware of your surroundings and like what's going on. Not to say I didn't live in any bad neighborhoods or deal with any crazy bad things. It's just I feel like part of that is because living in the city and being aware, I knew how to keep myself out of the trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But in Dartmouth, it's wonderful, dude. It's quiet. I'm seeing deer in my yard.
Fuck yeah.
Just
well, that's why you bust it down, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's why you work all these hours. It's like, well, now, especially when you have a kid, it's like, well, now you're giving him this life that you might not have had when you were a kid.
Yeah,
like, that's what it's all about.
Right, definitely. It's 100% change of what I grew up with versus what he's growing up with, and I made sure that was like my number one focus. Being a dad was that he's gonna go through his struggles. Everybody does,
mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna do what I can do to make sure we live a different life that I lived. So that way, he can go through his struggles and his hard times, but it's not gonna be as close to what I may have gone through or anyone else in that position. Not just me, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool being a dad. It's cool watching him grow up. Now he's a teenager.
How did having a kid like affect you? Like change you as a person?
Oh, I mean, I would say it really makes you focus on like you have no other option. You have to provide. You have to uh, unconditional love, like all like he can't do no wrong in my book, even though he's gonna do some wrongs. I'm gonna help him, but it's my homie. So I would say that I was just thinking about this the other day too, because I was with his mom for a very long time, 13 years. She has a sister that was born while we were dating. So in a sense, I was 18 years old, 19 years old, with his mom, with her sister as a baby. It kind of got me prepared in a way, because I would always be around the baby, always helping out. So it kind of gave me a glimpse into what that life would be like, and I kind of enjoyed it. It gives you like a different sense of purpose to have a whole other person to look after, and that counts on you, but also looking back, I would say I wish that I would have done a lot more things beforehand. I wasted a lot of time, messing around, partying, doing drugs, things like that, which it made me the person I am, which is, I'm totally here for it. But what I would definitely say for like, you being younger, all the younger crew out there is like, just do what you want to do now. Do what you want to do now. And all the resources that are around, everything that you have at your fingertips, like just use it. Even this podcast and chilling, talking, you never know what could come out of it. And if you don't try, and having like a support system behind you too, because there was plenty of things I wanted to try, I wanted to do as a kid, but when you don't have that someone there to push you, that kind of puts you at a disadvantage. That's why I'm always, very supportive of what he's doing, even though right now he's a lazy gamer. But I'm like, brother.
Yeah, but how old is he?
13.
That's exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
Right, exactly, And I'm like, as you get older, you can see, man, you could make something out of this, You start.
Especially now, like.
Right,
like,
this is the wave, man, for real.
For real.
It's cool to see. It really is. I wish I had time to get into it. Maybe one day.
Yeah. What would you do if you had a little bit more time? Because that's honestly why I quit the sail off, is I didn't have time, and there was all these things I wanted to do. Like the big one was like I want to do a food truck or a food trailer or something like that. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna quit and plan that. I wrote a business plan, showed it to my dad. He was like, "There's a dog shit. You can't use this." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I kind of scrapped everything and starting from scratch now, thinking of a new concept. But the biggest, like, I didn't leave because of money. Like, it was really just like I need time. Like, if you want to like do something like this, like it's just like time. This podcasting, I'm finding, this is only my second time doing it, so like I'm just starting, but I'm finding this to be much easier than I thought it was compared to like actually shooting a video, like shooting a cooking video.
Right.
I was telling you, I think when we were just at the whale, it's like we're making a burrito, like literally just a burrito. It takes fucking 4 hours.
Right.
Like, and we haven't even edited it yet.
Yeah.
So like all in all, it's going to be like 6 to 10 hours total of like labor. And that's a lot of time. Like that took me a day basically and like the day before, it's like I have to go shopping and I'm spending money on that. So it's just like a lot of time to do stuff like this. But that's why I'm kind of enjoying podcasting, and why I'm gonna put more effort into it, is because it's just like, it's fun, and I'm also just curious. Like, I mean, the first 20, I'm just talking like my homeboys, like you, Isaiah. I'm gonna talk to
just
Ethan,
kind of get the
like,
bugs out.
Yeah,
man,
get Andre over. Like, just talk to people that I'm like I've worked with, I'm familiar with, that are in the industry. That's the whole point. Sit next to the oven.
Owen with the ovens.
Owen by the oven, yes sir. But yeah, man. I mean, I think you'd be good at this too. You'd be good at something like this 100%. You have a great personality, like super smooth, good at talking to people. Like, that's all it really is just like talking to people. I think some people like freeze up on camera, but it's like that's fucking.
Well, that's why it's important too, especially when you first start out, is to kind of have familiarity with the people you have on here, what you're talking about. Because like you said, you can. Right now, this is in the beginning stage. You can edit, you do whatever you want, change it up, whatever. So now that's cool. I've thought of something like this. Me and Andre actually
You guys would have a fucking hilarious podcast, bro.
We've been talking about a lot of different ideas and different ways to go about things, and this is a cool idea because you never know, an idea could spark while we're just sitting here shooting the shit, and then that could blossom into something even bigger, and all you were doing was hanging out talking, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we thought about that a lot, actually. And I have a spare room. I gotta everything set up, getting the new house, and all that comes with has been also fun to learn as a new homeowner. Things happen. There's no one to call but me. You know what I mean?
No landlord.
And I'm like, man, my chimney's leaking. What do I do? You know, so
YouTube, baby.
Yeah, right.
YouTube solves all problems.
Yeah, for real. For real. That's true. That's very true. I'm definitely more of a call a guy and fix it, though, because you don't want me messing around on your roof, dude. No thanks.
Getting into some trouble.
Yeah.
Some trouble up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Andre would fucking. I'd watch that. What would you guys call it if you did a podcast?
I don't even know. We messed around with a few different names for our like whole thing, because we want to do podcasts and we want to do food. We want to do entertainment. We want to have like a.
It makes so much sense to me that you guys are getting along. Like I love, like when I got to Sail Off, I loved Andre. Like I was like, this dude is so cool. Like him and Randy probably would be like super tight. And then like there was like other people influencing him at the Sail Off that kind of made him like a negative persona there.
Right.
But once he left, I kind of realized like, oh, that wasn't him. Like that was like
just the environment.
That was the environment he was in and the influence of others that he has kind of like adopted. But like him as a person, just talking to him, I was always like, he's like super cool. Like, super cool dude.
I love Andre. It's funny, when I finally met him, we had heard of each other a few different times because I had left the Whale for a few months. I took a job as a head chef at another restaurant. And he was the head chef at the place I was going to. So I basically, he stepped down and I took his position. And so we kind of heard of each other through mutual people that were, getting me linked up with the new chef job and him kind of out of there. So we had heard of each other. That only lasted a few months. He went over to Sail Off. I came back to the Whale. And he would come and like pick up product from us. And that's when we first met. And I'm like, you're Andre. He said, you're Randy. I'm
like,
you guys yeah.
Already knew each other.
We know about each other, but we've never met. So it's good to meet you, bro. And then whatever happened at Sail Off, he came to the Whale. And I've needed someone like him with me because we see things very similarly. He helps kind of keep me on my toes, which is good. I love that, especially.
He really cares too. Like that's why I like really enjoyed him. Is when I got to the Sail Off, he was like, I mean, there was a miscommunication. He didn't know that I had never managed before, so he was like, "This guy's a fucking retard." Like, for like the first couple of months.
Yeah.
I remember he took me in the walk-in one time. He was like, "How are we gonna get you to where you need to be?" And I was like, "Dude, like, I'm trying to learn how to do fry station. I've never made a fish and chips before at a fucking restaurant. Like, sorry, bro." But once we like figured that out, like, he was very like. He was the only one who would call me on bullshit, which like I value.
Yeah,
because like other
too.
people there like didn't give a fuck, and like there's no quality stuff. But he actually has like a personal quality standard, which I think is everything. Like if you, and that I was telling Isaiah this too last time, is like my biggest regret in the past year is just like letting someone else affect my quality standard. And like when I'm like, hey, this could be better, just be like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's like, then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fucking get into an argument with you.
Right.
Never will I let that happen again.
Yeah,
Never.
No.
That was my biggest takeaway from the past year. Is just like, I will not let people influence me like that. But Andre has a good quality standard.
He does.
He actually like really gives a fuck.
He really does. He helps out with that a lot. He's Captain Sandy Bucket over at the Whale. He makes sure we're all sanitized and ready sanitized and ready to go, which is great. And he busts on prep. It's a very. We have a good team now. I'm not saying we didn't before, as far as like chefs, but I would say that this is my.
Who is it now? It's you, favorite. Andre, Gambino,
and Yehudi.
And Yehudi.
That's it.
That's solid.
That's all we need.
That's rock solid.
That's all we need.
I know Brian was there, but he's at Candela's now, right?
Right. Yeah. So he got.
Are they open yet?
No, they're opening second week of January. So.
Nice.
First or second week of January. So it's been cool to see them there. Brian's doing his thing because I like Brian. I do. He's a great chef. He has a good mind for food. Great. And so he's in his element right now. He is.
And he has an Italian background too of cooking, so he's probably like salivating.
They're
like,
making bread. They're making pastas. They're making everything from scratch, doing their thing. I hope they can keep it up. Here it's going to be smaller dining room, kind of more fine tuned to like the fine dining, aspect. So
yeah, I almost went there. I was very close to going there and working there, but
they have a squad too, man.
Yeah, they do have a squad. I was talking to Pete about it. We had like a 45-minute conversation on the phone about it. And he was telling me a little bit about it. And also just like with Pete at the helm, I'm like, I know that they're going to do like a good job. Like Pete is so dope. Like he's a cool dude. He just got back from New York. Like he's ready to go.
See, my working with Pete was when we opened up Cultivator. So that was all partying.
I didn't know he worked there.
Yeah, no, our opening management team was me, Kate, Pete, Will, and then one of my other friends was the chef, my boy Zach.
They don't own Cultivator anymore, do they?
Nah. Yeah, nah. He's moved on from that. That's another thing too, is why I think about this smaller, in Candela. He's very much, he wants to pack it and make money, which is great. So if this is a different type of concept for him, where it's, I don't want to say less about making the money, because you always want to make the money, but more about the food and the experience, I think they're going to be great. I'm excited.
I think they really need to do a good job with Candela's in particular. I think National Club is what it is. Like, it's going to be a Mexican restaurant. It's going to be sick. Like, people like, I know there's a bunch of burrito places around here, but I think like a sit down, really, really good Mexican place would be awesome right there. But Carmine's was like really well loved. And it was also like where you would go if you didn't want to go to a served well restaurant. Yeah. That's like what I've heard from people. And so everybody's kind of just like waiting with bated breath, just like this fucking better be good. Yeah. Because you guys own every restaurant. Right. So you better not mess up the one good one that wasn't served well. That was here. Yeah. Exactly. But I think they're going to do a great job. Like, I mean, I haven't met Joe Mello, but I've only heard great things about him. Dude, Joe Mello is... I'm kind of sad I'm not going to get a chance to work with him now. He's awesome. I had never met him either. Same thing. It's like we hear about each other, when you're that close. I'd use his locker at the Whale. It's Joe Mello. It's like always the locker I'd use. So I met Joe, and he's a great guy. He's very into the food, very into teaching you, very uplifting with the staff, because they've been doing all their prep, basically working out of the downstairs commissary kitchen, and so they're there every day. And Joe Mello is hilarious. I've heard the legends, but I've never actually met him. Silas met him. He comes to the Whale all the time. He was working there for a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So she's been like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to Chef Joe today." I was like, never even met the guy. Yeah. I joked with him and told him that I want to come by and see it, and he said, "You can only come by if you're ready to work." I'm like, "Chef, whenever you need me, I'm ready to work." Ball buster. Yeah. A little short Portuguese guy. He's awesome though. Fuck yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to go eat there, so I'll introduce myself at some point. I want to meet him for sure. I've been telling them, like, you guys better let me know, because what we used to do for Joe's back in the day when we would open new stores is they would invite all of us, like, what they call it, like the friends and family event, where they can, iron out all the wrinkles and like a soft opening service, things like that. And it would just be us, and we, could pick certain things from the menu. They would just to get the practice in before we open to the public, and things like that. So I'm like, you better let me know, because I need to be here. It's been fun trying all the stuff they're making, like from scratch, fresh pasta, like nuts. I haven't been a part of anything like that, so to be around that's cool. And then especially someone like Joe, for me, being like, next man up, going to be the head chef of the new concept when we open it, and been doing it for so long, and I like to still have someone there that I can learn something from. So to be the head chef is going to be weird for me, because who am I learning from? I mean, it's just you. And so right now it's cool being with Yehudi and still learning from him, and being under him for the past 2 years has been great for me. There's obviously stuff I have to work on, obviously,
But
No, I think you're ready for a head chef role though, because you're a get it done guy. Like even when shit is rough, it's like you get it done, and that's what's important. Like
yeah, I think that what I'm learning from Yehudi is we get it done, but he gets it done in his planning and thinking ahead, which I've gotten way better at. Thinking ahead, planning ahead, all that, because you can only get by getting it done so long before next thing you know, 2 or 3 things happen and now you're in the shit and that's it. Which is, it's fine because you'll get it done. But I want to be prepared.
Yeah.
So he's helped me a lot with that, being able to be prepared.
And it's funny you say that, circling back to what we were talking about earlier with like the culinary school thing, is like the CIA's motto is literally like preparation is everything. That's their thing. It's like not like obviously with food, it's like, yeah, mise out your stuff and like be prepared to cook it. But when you look at the management side, it's also that, because if you're not preparing things or anticipating things that are unforeseen, it's like, you're right, like 2 or 3 things come up all at once and then it's like, oh fuck, like now I'm in a really bad position.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared, it's like,
yeah. So that's been good. And I'm kind of fortunate to have a couple years under my belt as, doing head chef things, ordering and scheduling, and I'm there through the busy weekend. Look, like I said, people hitting me up for scallops. I'm not even working today.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, guy. But so
I know, I would always fucking hate doing that. They'd be like, dude, just call Randy. I'm like, fucking called him 2 days ago, bro. Like, I'm not trying to like do this right now. But...
Now I answer the phone. I'm like, what do you guys need now? I already know.
Fucking sail off, dude.
But it's cool. But like, that in a way is helping me because I'm trying to be helpful to everyone. I'm trying to plan. I'm trying to have everything, ready, because we're separate restaurants, but we're all the same company. So if we can help each other out, I'm always down. I'll even actually help Isaiah out the other day with calamari, and they still fucked it up.
How?
So they needed calamari. We get calamari rings. I couldn't help them. I only had what I had, but I told them like, hey, hit up this place, hit up that place. So they did. They ended up able to find some, but I tried to tell them. I said, when you call, you got to be specific on what you want, because if you say calamari, they're just going to give you whatever, and depending on who you send over there, they're not going to know. And of course, they send a front of house. So
sound like a runner.
Yeah, they pick up rings and tentacles. So I already know, a 5-pound case of that. You like 3 pounds, 2 pounds of it is tentacle.
Yeah.
So now what do you?
That happened once when I was there too.
What are you really buying?
Yeah.
And so, they fucked that up, but they made it through. They got through. They did fine. I talked to Chef C about it, and we were laughing about it because I'm like, tell me you didn't get the tentacles. He's like, we did. I'm
Who's
like,
Chef C?
Charlie.
Oh,
he did. He did.
Oh, I forgot he was at Sail Off.
Yeah,
I just saw him there too. I visited when I staged at Little Moss, and he was there, and I was kind of thinking to myself. I was like, I said it to Ethan. I was like, one of two things is going to happen. He's either really going to get along with, which isn't great because then they're going to be drinking and buddy, or they're not going to get along, and that's also not good. And I was like, because Charlie, like, I fucking love Charlie, and I respect his grind, like, for sure. Because I remember when he started at the Whale, he was living in his car. Like, I fucking respect the shit out of Charlie. But I was just like, I hope that, like, doesn't influence him negatively.
Yeah,
not to put him on blast, because I love him. But, yeah, just hope he's all good over there.
Yeah, from what I hear, he loves it.
He's probably happier there. It's a little bit slower than the Whale, which is nice. It's still really busy, but it's a little bit slower, which is nice.
Yeah.
Smaller kitchen, tighter team. Everybody's really cool.
I remember I told you that before you went there. I'm like, you're going to fucking love it there. And Isaiah, too, both of you. Because it seems more of your, like, you guys is little, it's more in your wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to get there because I'm that high volume. That's why I'm like, I hope National Club we're busy and cool, but I don't want to be doing $12 million a year like the Whale, man.
No. I mean, I haven't been in that building, the National Club, but I bet that's like 4 to 6, probably. Like, it's definitely a smaller building.
Yeah.
There is going to be outdoor seating though, right? I remember
Yeah.
seeing the 3D rendering that they did.
Yeah, I
which was
believe
pretty
so.
cool.
They're gonna do something with the roof too, I think. But it's been pushed back so many different times. It was supposed to be happening now, but
Yeah, I remember that's another reason I left actually is because they were like, yeah, dude, October of like,
now,
yeah, they were
yeah,
like October, like we're gonna send you over there. You're gonna be a sous chef. Randy's gonna be head chef. I was like, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. October came and went.
yeah,
Like just everything just came and went, and then they were just like, yeah, it's actually gonna be like March of next year, and I'm like, I'm not doing another 8 months here, bro. Like I'm sorry,
yeah,
like you're stringing me along. It's
yeah,
just like I'm out of here.
right. Well, it's good that you're able to get out and find something. For me, I'm not saying I'm stuck, but you get accustomed to making a certain amount of money and having a certain amount come in, and
That
you
was a
know,
change. Like the only reason I think I was able to be like I'm out of here is because I'm willing to take a pay cut.
yeah,
Like we're living pretty inexpensively here. We're very fortunate to do that. Um, but I was like I'm able to take a pay cut and do something I'm more interested in, which I'm thankful for. But if I was living like super paycheck to paycheck, and I wouldn't have left. Like I would just suck it up and be like, all right, like I
right.
just got to
'Cause
keep making this money.
yeah,
Like
you gotta kind of have to.
yeah,
But
which I get. But I think high volume like prepares you for so many things though. Like because even now, like getting to Little Moss, like they're like, all right, yeah, we're pretty busy today. We have 65 covers. I'm like,
cool.
motherfuckers, like that's like nothing.
Yeah.
Like, literally nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been good though. It's like it's not the same. There's such different restaurants, but I have to say, being in a scratch kitchen though is very nice. Like that is definitely something that I like was missing. Like I missed like making the pasta. It's like if we're making like a filled pasta, like we're making the ricotta cheese,
oh,
which is
really?
like yeah, like they make the only cheese they buy is for the cheese board because it's like specialty cheeses.
Right, yeah.
But like they make their own cheeses, they make their own vinegars sometimes.
Oh,
Like
that's
yeah,
cool.
Lisa like I've only been there a week, but she's super cool. She lets you be as creative as you want to be. I told her I'm like super into fermenting and dry aging and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, you can like run that program. Go talk to Farming Coast. They have a dry ager across the street. If you want to like make vinegars and like start fermenting things, we can start taste test." Like she's
Oh,
like
wow.
about it. Like
That's awesome.
yeah, and she's also the nicest person I've ever met. Like genuinely, she's just like such a sweetheart.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I would really like to do some things like that. Like I said, I always want to try to be learning something. So when I get stuck in a certain spot, it gets tough for me because then it's just you're on autopilot. So I've been trying to think of ways to get myself involved with different things. It's tough too. I'm not a very good self-starter. I'm more of a let's talk about a million ideas and do none of them.
Yeah.
Um,
It's hard. The hardest part of anything is getting started.
Yeah.
Like genuinely. Like
right.
I talked about doing this for like 2 years. I was
Right.
like, dude, a long form cooking, because originally it was going to be cooking. I was like, a long form cooking thing where I'm just talking to people in the industry would be sick. Like I talked about it for like 2 or 3 years, but I just started doing it like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Like it's like just started.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know, but maybe because I have more time now.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I'm going to be working full time again soon, like as soon as January hits. Because right now I'm only working 3 days a week because they're just like staffed out and it's December.
Right.
But come January, this dude Rich, who's super cool, he actually staged at the Sail Loft when I was there. So he like worked under me, and then when I staged at Little Moss, I worked under him. He's like a cheese maker, wine
really?
maker, like fucking one of the he surfs, he windsurfs, rock climbs, like super cool dude.
Cool, bro, man.
Yeah, he's actually the next person I'm having on. He's fucking dope.
awesome.
But
Shout out Rich.
Yeah, shout out Rich. But January 6th, he's leaving for New Zealand. He's going to like...
As someone who sounds as cool as Rich will do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
He's
mean?
so... We were talking about it a little bit yesterday. He's like, oh yeah, dude, like I... Like 3 months into working somewhere, I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Like he's just like, got that. Which is kind of, he was like, it's kind of a gift and a curse because it's fun and you get a lot of cool life experiences. Like he showed me a picture of him and Anthony Bourdain the other day. He was like, yeah, I just drove up to fucking Quebec City one day and smoked a cigarette with Anthony Bourdain. And I was like, dude, I would kill for that experience.
Right.
Like that is so dope. But yeah, dude, I just want to talk to interesting people, interesting motherfuckers. Starting out with my homeboys.
Cool, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's good to be a part of something that's starting out because you hit it big, you come back for the homies.
Yeah, dude.
We all can sit here and laugh at the first couple episodes of how shit they are.
100%. I would love to at some point get like a studio. Like obviously this would have to like pop the fuck off.
Yeah.
So I could like afford rent for another place. But like getting a studio with just like an oven in it or just like a kitchen and just like shooting there, get a table, like have actual mics.
Right.
Because the reason I use these mics is because the plan in the future is to go to other chefs' kitchens and sit next to their oven, like be in their kitchen.
Right.
So it's Owen by the oven.
Yeah.
But like we're like I'm going to like the Four Horsemen in New York or something, like I'll like hit up Nick Curtola, who's the chef, and just be like, hey, like you want to do it, and then whatever we go, and then like after service or before service, like we just sit by the oven and just like talk, like legit, just talk.
That's cool.
That's the dream, bro.
Yeah, I thought about like it's something similar like the after the shift type of thing.
Yeah.
And just everybody kind of come together, sit, hang out.
Could name it like shift drink.
Yeah, like another one I was thinking of was closing time. That'd be
a good name.
That'd be a pretty cool name. But yeah, it's
kind of fucked up when you said you and Otter are gonna have one. My first instinct was like light side, dark side, and I was like, oh,
ebony and ivory.
Yeah,
some shit. No, yeah, we going back to him.
Ebony and ivory.
We have
that
so
would be
much,
hilarious.
Yeah, we have so much fun together. We work the same shifts, have the same days off, so we're
perfect.
Always in the same bullshit together. You know.
No, you guys should start it. And all this like these lights with a pack of 2, the tripod, the mic was all on Amazon, and it was like I bought 3 of those tripods, and then I also bought a gimbal, which is like that thing where you like can get really smooth shots. I like never use it.
Yeah.
But all that together was like $450. Like really not bad. Like startup is really not too expensive. I thought it was gonna be like $2,000.
Yeah.
But startup really isn't too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want it to be when you're first starting out.
When I was doing an equipment list, I was like, this is going to be like $2,500 to get going. But then I realized like, wait, I can just use my phone. These lights on Amazon are mad cheap. The mics were really expensive, but then Luke, my sister's boyfriend, who does like podcast production.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, like just get lav mics, which is what these are. And he was like, because especially if you're going to go somewhere eventually, like this is, you don't have to set up mics and bring a table. And I was like, that's so true. Like this is just so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're pretty good. I think those were like $120 or something.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Yeah. I have a set at home.
Oh, I remember because you'd wear it to
work and hit the expo. Just be catching everything on expo or just throughout
that
the day.
Alone would be good content. You should just like get like a body cam. Yeah. Like I don't know if you know that the YouTube channel Follow London. It's a restaurant in London.
Yeah, no.
But I guarantee you've seen one of the YouTube videos. It's like 45-minute grill service, and it's literally just like a dude working the line.
Yeah.
But like you expoing, fucking dude, gold. That's gold content, dude. Every day, dude. It's just content
all day.
Get on the line. That's content. Like everything.
Yeah. That would be fun. Just executing the idea, I guess.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've like with stuff like this, like getting the content, I find is easier because it's like you just set up a time, come over, we talk. It's easy. If I want to shoot a video, go buy the ingredients, do it. But what I'm running into now is like Abby and Luke, who are gonna do the editing. I'm kind of like, should I have them do the editing because I have to pay for this cloud service, which is gonna be like $150 a year or something like that, which isn't bad, but to like upload that so they can edit it and then they give it back to me and then I post it? Or should I just spend the same money on Premiere and edit myself because eventually I'm gonna have to pay them? So it's like, I don't know, kind of trying to figure out how that's gonna go. But
yeah, editing, that's another thing where you talk about the time it's gonna take.
Yeah, and I don't know how to edit, so it's just a time sink. Like I will just spend way more time.
I mean, I messed around a little because they had a little program on the PlayStation, the PS4. It's very time consuming. But that program was pretty simple. It's just, showing you how to clip certain things or where you can stop in a certain spot if you want to add like some type of meme or like a little snippet from like a YouTube video to like, enhance certain things or whatever, put music on in the background, like things like that. It just shows you like the overlays and like how to kind of do it. Very basic. I forgot. I think it's called like the Playroom or something like that on PlayStation. That's
kind of cool though that they like integrate editing software.
But it takes time. Like I think it took me 2 or 3 hours to make like a 10-minute little montage video. So
wild.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, I think if I was like 200 episodes in and it was like growing, it would be no question. I'd be like, yeah, you guys edit it because I want to spend my time shooting. But since I'm just starting, it's kind of like I have the time right now. Like maybe I should just edit it myself, but Yeah, I don't really know. But I'm also about to start working full time again.
Right.
Like as much hours as they will give me, I will be working it. So
you can do a little bit of both, especially if you have someone who edits currently. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't mind you spending some time with them, kind of seeing what they do, help you out a little bit. I mean, that wouldn't.
Yeah, they went to school for it too. And Luke has like edited podcasts for people before. Like he's done multiple. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys do a podcast, I could connect you to.
Oh, for real?
You'd like Luke. He's mad cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to, like I said, do the same thing. You're talking about a studio. I have that extra room. So turn that into a little studio.
Yeah.
I have mics. I have camera. I would do mine on the computer. But this is cool with the phone.
It's simple, you know. And the phone cameras are getting really good. Like when I shoot the food videos, you can shoot in 4K at 60 frames.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like insane. But the thing with that I didn't account for is the rendering in like Creative Cloud. Like when you're editing it, the size of the file makes it slow down. And like I did not anticipate that. So like I wanted to post the first video December 5th. It's just like takes fucking forever. You can't even watch it back because it's just like because they only have 16 gigs of RAM. That's the problem. So I bought them 64 gigs of RAM as like this is payment for the first like 2 or 3 videos, and like we'll just make this faster. And we almost bricked his computer installing it. Like just didn't work.
No shit.
So now we're back to square one. But you know the path to a W is paved with L's. So
true. That's very true. Shit, I had an edible. I'm starting to get a little high.
Oh, bro, well, I could have had one too. Why didn't you tell me, bro? I could have fucking been.
I kind of forgot I ate it until just about right now.
Fuck, man. Now I feel like a fucking loser.
Hey, well, we can go grab one.
I guess that's true.
It's been too long. I don't think.
I don't think so. How long have we been up for?
Probably about not even an hour, I would say.
52 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God, that chef timing, bro.
Yeah, man. Locked in.
It's like I can feel it. Can feel it.
Yeah, I'll go have one. I'll be half an hour behind you though. Be right back.
I didn't think it was gonna get to me like this.
How much did you have?
Just a little 5 milligram gummy.
That's all I ever do.
Yeah, any much more of that.
Yeah, I find if I have like 1 or 2, I'm good.
Anything more than that. Like I just had yesterday off in the fantasy football playoffs. I won. Hallelujah.
Nice.
I'm in the finals. But
what do you get if you win the whole thing?
$1,100. Put in 100. I'll take it.
W, bro.
Yeah.
Victory Royale.
Yeah. And it's me and a female server, who last minute was like, "I'll join. Can I join the league?"
Oh, dude, you got her.
And she made it to the finals. I'm like, dude, I better. And her name is "You Just Lost to a Girl," so I can't lose to a girl.
Oh my God, that'd be rough.
It would be in the finals. Oh God.
Yeah.
But
what's your name on it?
I've changed it a couple times.
You lost to a boy.
No, I just changed it for the playoffs to so I have this little thing with one of the other guys that's in the league. Did you work with Antoine? Manager?
Yeah, briefly.
So he would always, anytime he needed something, "Ayo, Ran, ayo." So my name is always Ayo, whatever. Mm-hmm. So this, for the playoffs, it's Ayo, you're losing. It was, I think it was Ayo, you like that, because my quarterback was Kirk Cousins. I would say shout out Kirk Cousins, but you're a bum. Bum. You just got benched.
Yikes, bro.
So
he said that to all 3 of my subscribers. That's rough.
Yeah. So Kirk Cousins, if you ever hear this, you're a bum. So he
cut to 5 years later. Yeah, like, hey, right? Fuck you, man.
Yeah, right. But yeah, luckily I didn't need him. So because I made it to the finals. I'm in there.
Let's go, dude. I hope you win. $1,100 is that's a pretty good pool right there.
Just to put 100 up. Yeah. Because there's 12 of us every year, and this year's last place punishment is Joey Chestnut's record-breaking hot dog eating. Whatever, I think it's like 84 or something like that. So you have to eat 84 hot dogs in a week. So you have to film yourself eating the hot dogs.
Oh my God.
So I think we broke it down. It's like 12 hot dogs a day.
I was literally trying to do that math in my head. I was like, even if you do it like evenly spread, it's still horrible.
That's
84
like
hot dogs is
3 hot
ridiculous.
dogs. You're just going to be eating hot dogs for a week.
I think if that was me, like if I lost, I would just try to eat them all in one sitting and just puke. And then just like keep trying, like just try to do them all in one go and just have like a really bad day. But then like the rest of your week is fine. But eating 12 hot dogs a day for a week is kind of like you're raising your blood pressure at that point.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. That's so. Then I
breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have to have 4 for each meal. 4 hot dogs for each fucking living hell.
I don't know if anybody's gonna do it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I hope so.
That'd be
send me the video, whoever loses, I want to see.
Well, they have to be posting videos to the chat 3 times a day. They're gonna be I wouldn't be looking forward to that.
Yeah, so. I never got into fantasy football. I'm just not into football like that. Like I don't watch sports. I never really like I watch the Super Bowl and I'll watch a football game if it's on, but like I just don't really be watching sports like that. So I definitely don't know the stats. So like if I were to do something, I have no idea. I would just go based off of their name.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, he's got a cool name. Yeah.
Well,
cool.
And that's how Emily, she was like, I don't really know much. I mean, I watch college football with my boyfriend. I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds good. So of course I try to help her a little bit during the beginning stages. And now she makes it to the end. Watch her take me out, dude. Oh. I'm going to tell her she's got to split that money with me if she takes me
you're
out.
Like, I fucking made you.
Yeah, you wouldn't be where you are if it wasn't for me. So.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. So.
But
who else is in it?
Did you work with Kenny?
Yeah, dude.
So he just lost to her.
Oh,
he just lost to her right at the end.
I love Kenny, dude. Kenny's a cool dude.
He's in there. I'm in there. It's mostly front of house. Connor, one of the bartenders. Mm-hmm. Drawing a blank. Yeah, it's all. I think it's a lot of new people that you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Because that place turns over so crazy, especially in the front of house. We're like already getting the okay to start hiring kitchen people, which is crazy because around this time, it's usually been a ghost town, but we've been cranking, dude. Cranking. That new deck is like insane. Big parties up the ass all day. Yeah,
whenever I drop sign off, because in the past like 2 months I've been dropping her off a lot just because I had nothing to do and it's like nice to spend time.
Yeah.
Like it will be like a Tuesday night or something and I'm like, why is the parking lot like actually full right now? Like it seems like it's been very busy this year.
Yeah, which is good, but then they want more and more and more, no matter what. Nothing's ever good enough. But we're killing it this year. I mean, as far as whatever goals they have for us, we're pretty much right there with all of them. So
fuck yeah,
it's been pretty good.
That's good. Getting the bonus.
Yep.
I do miss the quarterly bonuses. Dude. That was nice. Just being like, oh, nice, dude. It's like a double paycheck.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, for me, sometimes it would be more than my check. I'm like, okay, that's nice. I'm like, I think we're 1 behind, so I'm pretty sure we're getting one soon. Because we hired like a CFO, so he takes care of a lot of the finances, and so that's been kind of cool to have because a lot of times they would make decisions because it's their business and they want to do what's right, but this dude's like all about the numbers. He's gonna tell you what you want to hear, even if you don't want to hear it. So, which we've been hearing about. So we're running a lot of specials for this slower time, but we're finding that the specials are killing the food costs.
Makes sense.
They're high. They're like, high price. Like, so we're bringing in prime rib for us, 1 day a week. If we don't sell it, what do you do? And you're not making much money on it because it's a high quality thing. So we've been trying to figure out ways to like just use what we got, which I've been saying that for months.
Well, that's what specials are supposed to be, is like use what you have and make it special.
Right.
Yeah. But if you're buying like Wagyu or prime rib, and then you're trying to sell that on a Sunday, it's like, yeah, it was probably good that day, but you're right. If you don't sell all of it, that's like, all right, well, now what? Because we don't sell it any other day.
Yeah. Then you try to push some sandwiches or something.
Yeah, prime rib sandwich or something.
Who's gonna buy a prime rib sandwich over there? No one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wants their roasted cod, no breadcrumb. Ugh, it's a fucking wet fish and a wet warm fish.
We just ran a special. It was a crab crusted cod, and it was the same. They're like, this is all wet. I'm like, well, yeah, it's covered in butter and sauce, dude. Like, what do you think it's gonna be? So we have to change that one up, but Yeah.
Yeah,
It's that awkward fucking stoner pause, man.
It's all good, bro. There's no pressure. But that's kind of like the beauty of this is it's like I don't even really want to edit it. Like obviously me going upstairs, we'll cut that out. But it's like
Yeah.
we're just fucking shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think definitely once I start doing like the first 20 is just gonna be like my boys, like some friends from culinary school. It's like people I know. But then after that, like your hat reminded me, like a shellfish farm. Like I really want to talk to some oyster farmers and just like maybe even go out with them, like on the boat.
Yeah.
It's like go get some because I fucking love oysters. So it's like just seeing how they do it, talk to them about a little bit about their lives. Like I definitely want to like write questions and be prepared for that.
Right.
Because I don't want to waste their time. Like I don't want to like have them on and be like,
what's your favorite oyster?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, we I mean, you know, during the summer we'll get a bunch of different kinds. So we've been getting cutty hunks. And just jokingly, she came by with a couple hundred oysters for us, and I said, "You guys got any merch or anything? Like any type of whatever you got?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll see what I have." And so she grabbed some beanies and some snapbacks. And me and Andre, there was like a Wednesday, so I took all that shit. I'm like,
Nice.
yo. So we each have our own little merch from the Cutty Hunk Oyster Farm.
have you been to Cutty Hunk?
Nah.
Dude, worth it. If you can get out there, so sick. It's like this little tiny island. It's basically just a big hill, and there's like, I don't know, 100 people that live there year round. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, like very few people. It's a super small island. Like I'm surprised anybody lives there year round. But then in the summer, you can like go see fireworks there. It's like kind of in the middle of nowhere in the oceans, which is pretty cool. And it's right next to this other island. I forget the name of it, but it was like a island. It was a leper island where they used to send people who had leprosy. So you're walking around, there's like graveyards everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, fucking weird. But it's kind of cool to be out because you're in the middle of the ocean too.
Yeah.
And there's like not really a lot around you. So you're just like on this isolated island and you're like, damn, people really were like sent here to die
Basically,
when they had leprosy. Like
that's fucked.
maybe like what, 100 years, like not even that long ago.
Right.
Like that really blew my mind. But Cutty Hunk is sick.
That's
it's just
cool.
a big hill. And at the top, there's like a platform with like a flagpole that you can stand on. And like the sunsets are like insane because you're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
So like you can just it's so beautiful.
Yeah, no, I haven't been out there.
Yeah, man, worth it. I didn't know there was a shellfish farm out there. Maybe I'll go back out and see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, the oysters are good. Well, I don't really eat oysters, but I'll have one once in a while.
Yeah,
Those
you don't
aren't
like
too
them?
bad. I mean, I don't know now. I know previously when I tried one, I barely could get it down. I think now,
Were you trying to just like swallow it as fast as you could?
yeah.
So so I liked oysters before and I would just swallow them. But Sayana put me on. The key, obviously lemon helps.
Yeah.
Like I still struggle like just cracking one and eating it because it just tastes like fucking ocean water. Like it's a little rough. But a little lemon and then chew the oyster.
Really?
Yes, because especially, and they have to be really cold. If they're not cold, like don't eat it. Because when you chew them, they have a texture. Like they're firm. Like if it's a nice fresh oyster, like they're firm and like they kind of melt in your mouth. And chewing it helped me get over the like this is a sea booger. It helped me get over that, and now I can eat. I mean, you put 50 oysters in front of me, I could probably crush them just because like I'm chewing them, and I think psychologically that helps a lot. But yeah, dude, next time you have an oyster,
Yeah.
chew it up, put some lemon on that.
I mean,
on that, John.
If we go anywhere, I'll try a couple. I don't know if I could crush. You guys got 18 that last time?
Yeah, we had 9 each.
That's crazy.
But we easily like the only thing that stops us from going bananas is like money. Like,
yeah, because it's expensive, dude.
Yeah. And it's such a good food. I think oysters are the perfect example of food cost because it's like you buy them for $1. I think you guys get them for 75 cents or something like that.
Yeah, depending. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is even crazier because like at that margin, every like cent you go down is just like profit. And then you sell them for $3.
Yeah.
So it's like fucking triple your money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
Just
these little fucking rocks, basically.
And people get a lot of them, especially
People go
over there.
nuts.
It's insane. And then we'll have the bucket shuck on Mondays.
I always forget that's a thing.
Oh, that's today. That's today.
Shit.
And we're gonna be doing a little bit of. We're gonna kind of like bump that promo up on Mondays. We're gonna have like different dressed oysters, fried oysters, just the
Dude, fried oysters are so good, but talk about like labor intensive for not a lot of reward.
So
like it is such a bitch to shuck. Like if you want like an order of fried oysters, like you get a shuck,
Yeah.
Like even if you do 12, it's like this big. Like it's like, so then you have to do a bunch. Well, okay, are those still $3 each? Because then that's like a $40 dish.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Well, they sell, because I had asked about that, if we're going to do fried oysters. They sell gallon buckets of shucked oysters, but that shit is disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried it once.
I would not eat those raw.
Yeah, no, hell no. Those are specifically for the fry later. Yeah.
I'm just imagining like one of those big tall beer glasses and someone drinking a bunch of oysters right now for some reason.
That's
nasty.
like, we do the oyster shooter. People order them. It's a shucked oyster in a glass with like whatever they choose.
That I don't mind. We did a couple oyster shooters at Sail Off. Like after some really busy days, we'd do like tequila shots with lime, and then we'd like shuck an oyster and like do it with it, which is like fun because it's like, it's especially with tequila and lime because it's like the oyster provides the salt. Yeah. That you would normally like maybe put on your wine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is pretty good. But no, dude, oysters are fucking awesome. I love oysters.
Yeah, I gotta try it. It's so funny. So I remember a couple months ago, it's funny, me and Sayana were talking about this at work. When I had reached out to you about oysters, and I think we both were confused about what the conversation was. And so me and her we were laughing about this. I think you were either just leaving Sail Off, or you were kind of there part-time, something.
I think I was just leaving.
You were like looking for work, looking for hours. And I was like, dude, yeah, anytime if you're available to shuck some oysters, I'd love to have you shuck some oysters.
That was a miscommunication.
And and then I think you thought we were gonna go have lunch and have some oysters.
Yeah, I was like, dude, we should hang out and have some oysters. And you were like, yeah. And then the funniest part was when the day came that I was like, oh, we should meet up this day. I was like, so what's good? And then you said something to me, and then I was like, so what's good? Like, what's the plan? And then you didn't respond until like 7:30 p.m. And you were like, sorry, man, lost my phone in my car seat. I was like, bro. No, that was funny, though.
If I'm not losing my phone is dead. I'm very hard to get a hold of. Whoops.
No, that's all good, bro. I'm very similar. And I have the worst luck with phones. Like, this phone isn't even that new, but I also can't, like the charging port is already fucked. Like, I have to position it in a specific angle.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, why?
Exactly.
Like, why does this happen?
The worst is when you do it overnight and you think you're good. You wake up and you're not
Yes,
good.
Dude. Wake up, your phone's 5%. You're like, dude, I worked 12 hours today.
Yeah,
like,
starting the day with no battery life. And then by the end of the night, I do all the orders on my phone. And I'm
1%, you're like,
I'm over there
running
like, either sitting by the charger, hoping it doesn't die. That's happened a few times. Lost the whole order, have to start all over again.
Oh.
Not fun. Not fun at all.
I remember this a couple of times we like double sent orders by accident and double the shit shows up. And then you're like, bro, take this back. And they're like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I definitely don't miss doing orders. Doing orders kind of sucked.
Yeah, that happened to me in Yehudi because I had started an order on my phone and it must have died, something with my luck. And then he had also started an order on his phone. So when he sent the order, it sent both of them. And luckily I caught it. I showed up to work and I'm like, this is like double of everything, you know? So then I go on my email, I'm seeing double of everything. I call, I'm like, hey, I think something happened because there's a lot of double. So they had to come in with a guy, and I didn't have to do this, but I did this for them just because they're really cool. I went through the restaurant and separated everything out that was a double, put it aside so when they came, they would just come grab the stuff and get out of there. But yeah, it was a nightmare. You would think having things on the app on your phone would be easier, but I miss the days of going into the office, putting it on the computer, sending it, no trouble, easy. Now it's, you sign into the app. I remember for a while my app wouldn't load, so then I'm having to call the order in, which is even worse because you're speaking to a voicemail. No one's really there. Oh. You don't know if you're going to get what you ask for. You don't know if what they're going to send you is what you're looking for. It just becomes a headache. So I definitely miss the computer, typing it all in, looking for it that way.
I didn't like having it in multiple places too, because we would do like the Sid Wainer on the laptop, which again, you do that in the office, which is great. And then North Coast was in Choco, like the app.
Yep.
So it's like you're on your computer, you're on your phone, going back and forth. It's a couple times it got all fucked up, but
yeah.
Yeah. Order guides really help though. I made like order guides for Sale Off at one point because there was one, but it was so out of date. There was like 50 different things that weren't even on the menu that we just didn't use. And I was like, this is ridiculous because it's taking me twice as long to go through this list because it's twice as long as it should be. And I like made them, and it's funny because like we fuck up the orders sometimes. And I was like, oh hey, made these order guides. He's just like, okay. Yeah. Literally just like, cool, bro. I'm like,
cool, thanks.
I made them for all of us
to
use so we don't have to fucking call Randy every Sunday. And yeah, no.
Yeah,
and here we are, and they still call.
They would, we got a hard no moving forward. Like anybody calls, just basically hang up on them. But I can't do that. Depending.
Well, that's kind of fucked up too, because they say that, but then it's like, okay, well then we're getting 86 calamari today. And then they're like, well, we can't 86 anything. It's like,
you're like, well then.
Okay, well then where the fuck are we going to get it? Because everything's closed today.
Yeah.
So it's either we get it from them or we 86 it, decide. And that was always what we'd like run into. And we'd always just choose like, we're going to call the whale because we don't want to run out of this and we don't want to have an earful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we started getting an earful because everything used to just get like lost in translation to like, okay, well then if I'm purchasing to bring in for me and I'm giving to you, that fucks me.
Mm-hmm.
How do we figure out how not to let it fuck us and to just be helpful all around? And it was just kind of tough chasing.
The answer is just order accurately.
Yeah, it would be tough to chase whatever restaurant got this and when they got it and how much and whatever. It was just kind of became a headache, which is why I'm glad we also got rid of the commissary kitchen downstairs, like prepping and doing all the stuff.
So you guys don't do anything for the other restaurants anymore?
No, not really. Like we'll send certain things, like couple things. It's not like it was. Like we're not cutting chicken for people. We're not making.
That was the dumbest
desserts.
one. Was like you guys getting all the chicken, or like the steak tips was dumb because like Ethan would say it all the time. Like we can just get that in and cut the steak tips. Like it's a little bit longer for us, but it saves you guys time and it saves us a lot of confusion. And it's one less thing we have to order. Like the less things we're ordering from, like especially in like a high volume kind of corporate setting, it's like if we can just order from like North Coast and Sid Wainer, but it was North Coast, Sid Wainer, Cisco, Commissary, Foley, all the like once you get over it. But I feel like that is how like a lot of restaurants operate, because now like at Little Moss it's like they're dealing with individual farms. Like I don't think they use Sid Wainer unless they absolutely need to.
Right.
Like they're just like dealing with farms and farmers, and that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Which is like, but that's like, I think they have like 20 farms.
Oh wow.
So it is like a lot of different places. I don't know how she keeps track of that.
Yeah,
like that's honestly what I want to learn from Lisa, is like how she like manages food coming in from farms, because you're also like it's winter right now. Like we can't get any herbs.
Right.
Because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
So, and also like the fish people we deal with are like more direct. And so it's like, oh, it's like storming out. Okay, we're not going out today, so you can't have scallops.
Right.
Which is like, that's problem solving, and that everything's just problem solving.
Yeah.
Yeah, just at like in different ways.
That's cool though. You guys get the freshest stuff.
It's pretty cool.
Possible, yeah.
Yeah, they brought in some like baby bok choy the other day, and some just some like greens, and they're like in big plastic clear bags. And like the dude came on his bike, and he's the farmer.
Yeah.
And then they're still covered in dirt.
Right.
And I'm like, this is like the freshest shit I've ever worked with. And there's something very exciting about that to me. Like I really enjoy working with like super fresh stuff. And then like the chives they got, I think it was from Sid Wainer, because you couldn't get chives, but we need it for the like particular dishes.
Yeah.
Are like the same chives we would get at Sale Off. And I know it because like they have a particular smell. Like when chives are like super fresh, they smell really, really good. And then when they're like in the middle, they smell like eh. And then when they go bad, they smell like fucking dog shit. And so they were like in the middle right out of the box. And they were like, yeah, these aren't the best. But I used to think at Sale Off, I was like, oh, these are nice big chives. But like fresh chives, I always forget that like fresh chives are like way smaller.
Yeah.
Because they're not like genetically modified, and they're just like growing. But what I'm really interested in is, especially doing this now, a great opportunity is like, that's 20 farmers I can just go talk to and like learn, because I'm really curious about farming, and some of them are like biodynamic, and just learning more about that is going to be super cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
And she also said that some of the farmers I had like a really high deer population, and she was like, yeah, they let people hunt on their land, because she saw my sticker, my Matthews archery sticker. And she was like, oh, do you hunt? I was like, I'm just kind of getting into bow hunting. And she was like, oh, I could connect you with some farmers. You can go hunt on their land. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro.
That's fucking
like,
crazy.
Because having private land to hunt on is the biggest thing. Because if you go on public land, it's just so crowded, especially for like white-tailed deer or like bigger game like elk and stuff. It's just there's so many people. It's hard to find a spot. And there's like more people than there are deer. But having private land is sick because you can like, it's a much higher chance of success.
Control who uses your land to go hunt on it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's why I got the bow in the first place, is to like, I want to get a chest freezer at some point and just try to fill it with meat. Like, because I don't like going to Market Basket and like buying chicken. Like, it kind of wigs me out a little bit. Like all the styrofoam and the plastic and the chicken breasts are this fucking big. And I'm like, this is wrong.
Ain't no chicken that big, man.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they can't even walk.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, literally. They're just sitting in their cages for their entire life. It's very sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Fuck the food system.
Yeah. Yeah. Where would you do all it? Like, you go kill a deer or an elk or whatever, where are you bringing it? How are you going to break it down?
So that's a good question, because if it's around here, it's easy, because shoot a deer, can just like quarter it and then put it in the truck, because I have a truck, and just like, I would probably just bring it here and just try to butcher it myself. But I know there's a lot of people like in places where people hunt more, like in Texas or in Utah. There's people that just do that like as a job. They're like, yeah, you bring your game to me, I will charge you a certain amount and I will break it down. I'll grind the meat, completely process the animal for you.
Wow. Like
do the antlers, do the skull if you want to. Like, so people do that. Like it's something that people do, which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working my way up to a deer. I'm not going to do that right away because I've never hunted with a bow, and it's very different from a gun, because a gun is like point and shoot.
Yeah. And that's pretty much end of the story.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as you can hit it, which is like hilarious, because I just went for a bird hunt and I probably shot on like 7 birds.
Missed all of them?
Every single fucking time. There was one actually, it was so embarrassing. It was like me and my dad, and I'm like trying to, be cool in front of my dad and like get a bird.
Yeah.
And we're at the very end of this hunting trip. I've been hunting for 4 days and I've missed all these birds and like beating myself up. And the whole time we're driving down the road, I'm thinking to myself, like, come on, just like give me a bird. Like have it walk out right in front of the car. I'll fucking shoot it. Like, let's go. Bird walks out 20 yards in front of the car. I'm like, Dad, stop. And he stops. I get out, fucking aim, whiff. Damn. Right in the middle of the fucking road. And I just was like,
it's time to go home.
Yeah. And that was it. That was the end of the trip. And I was like, fuck, man. But yeah, that hunting trip taught me disappointment for sure. That was very disappointing.
Out there all day, didn't get anything. So and it's going to make it nice when you do get something.
And it's freezing rain. You're in the woods in Maine. It's like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Like literally shivering, holding a cold ass metal gun.
Right.
Like miserable for days.
So what's the difference with a bow then?
Difference with a bow is, I mean, I just like archery. Like I've shot bows most of my life, whether it's at like summer camp or like I used to take archery lessons when I was a kid. But now it's like I just enjoy shooting. And then I think that this is concept in hunting called like fair chase. So it's like, I think that shooting a deer at 500 yards is kind of like that deer never had a chance. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't even know you're there.
Right.
But with a bow, like if you're like top 1.1% of archers, you're maybe shooting at 100 yards.
Okay. So it's a lot more, and like that's closer interaction.
Yeah. Like if you're your average Joe, you're shooting within 60 yards. Which is like from here to, I mean, if the window is open, I'd point to Minerva's, but that little pizza place right there is 60 yards.
Okay.
So it's like, right, you could throw a rock at it.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot closer. You have to move in on the animal. So there's a much higher chance that they catch your scent or they hear you, they see you. Like everything could go wrong. So to succeed with a bow is definitely harder, which is not great because I've failed with a gun so far. So that's not a good starting point. But no, I just like archery, and I think it's like more fair for the animal, and it's like a higher skill curve too. Because if you spend like an hour on a gun range, you'll probably hit like bullseyes, and you could definitely just go shoot a deer like with a scope or like a red dot or something. But with that, it's like you have to like shoot every day and like execute a good shot when the moment comes. And then the biggest thing for me is like nerves. Like set in, because it's like, I can shoot every day and like have good form, but like there's a fucking 800-pound elk in front of you 20 yards away.
Yeah.
You got to execute that perfect shot right now, and you only have one shot. And if you miss, you could injure that deer, and you could never get it. And that deer has to live with an arrow in its fucking stomach until it dies.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
That's
and so that's the biggest thing for me, and why I try to shoot every day is like, you don't want to injure an animal. Like, that's the worst feeling. Like, when I was hunting those birds, I definitely shot one of them and probably clipped it, but it got away.
Yeah. I
was like, fuck, dude, I just like fucked up that bird.
Right.
And like, it's just gonna be, I mean, if I hit its wing, it's never gonna fly, and then it's just gonna get eaten by a fucking coyote. And that's not a good way to go.
No.
Like, that bird probably would have rather been shot.
Yeah.
So it's all about just doing right by the animal, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm getting into. Not super comfortable killing like land animals. I kill fish all the time.
Yeah.
Shellfish, whatever. Like, that's easy. Lobsters, whatever. But something about killing like a land animal feels a little bit like more intense. But that's kind of why I'm starting with like birds. Then I'm going to go to Texas and try to do like a wild boar hunt, because they're like vermin down there. They're fucking everywhere.
Oh, shit.
I think there's 20 million just in Texas. Like, there's so many wild boars.
Jesus.
And they're just obliterating the farms and everything. So you can just go down there and hunt. They'll pay you to hunt them.
No way.
Yeah, it's good meat. Like, wild boar meat is sick. So yeah, I'm gonna start with some smaller hunts and then try to go for deer. Fill the chest freezer, have some sick meat, give it to my friends.
Right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's cool.
Because if you get a big deer too, like, it's so much meat. Like, it's actually insane. Like, you'll keep a quarter of it, it'll fill the fridge, and then it's like, okay, now I have 400 pounds of meat. I don't know what to do with it. Just give it to people. Give people good meat. Yeah.
That was like nothing even close to that, but it reminded me of the back when COVID was around and all the restaurants were closing, and everybody, well, I know I did, but everybody must have got hooked up. I had cases of chicken, cases of meat. I'm just breaking down meat, breaking down chicken. I was like the neighborhood plug for protein. You just come see me. We were doing trades. I'm giving you meat, you're giving me whatever. Wild time, dude. Wild time.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, I've never went hunting, anything like that. I've fished, things like that, but
it's very similar. Very much like long periods of boredom, punctuated by moments where you're like really excited, and then if you get something, it's like the best feeling, because you're like, ooh, the caveman inside. He's like, I eat today.
I did this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
It'd be fun, bro. We could go on a hunt. It'd be fun. I don't have any guns though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no,
so I was using my dad's
I don't have
guns.
any of that. No guns, no license.
The license is easy. You just take a class, and it's like $75.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It is a long class though, and they make it so you can't skip. Like, you can't, like, there's videos, you can't skip ahead.
Yeah.
And if it's like a piece of text like this long, there's a 2-minute timer. So even if you read it in 30 seconds, you gotta sit there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it takes like 8 hours. Like, it fucking sucks.
Hey, I mean,
like, the archery one took me like 2 days. But
kind of necessary if you're getting licenses to hold.
Yeah, especially for the guns, because people are fucking dumb when it comes to guns. I'm gonna pee myself. I'm gonna go pee real quick. Trying really hard not to. But
it happens.
I did the same thing with Isaiah, but couldn't keep it together this time. So I know you like clowns and horror movies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
We just watched the original Dracula last night.
Oh really?
Dude, weird movie. Like, watching it, it was very strange, but it was really good. I couldn't sleep last night. I was thinking about it. And dude, we were halfway through that movie. It was like a really intense part, like a spooky part. And that basement door right there, it latches, and it was latched. We were sitting there, and it just fucking opened.
No way.
Yeah.
Dracula.
Like, genuinely, like, we both were sitting there, and like, I fucking went cold, dude. I was like, holy fuck. I grabbed my cleaver, and I literally went down. I was like, I cannot, because we tried to just keep watching it. I was like, I'm not going to be able to relax until I go clear the basement and make sure there's not someone down there.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Dude, I was tweaking.
Yeah, I like the gory horror. So like the Friday the 13th movies. Now is the Terrifier. I don't know if you've seen any of those. The Terrifier movies.
No, I actively avoid like gore movies.
Oh, dude, it's fucking sick. It's sick. We just they just made a third one. It was like Christmas themed, and so we went and saw that in the movie theaters. I took him and a couple of his friends, and of course, they almost get us kicked out of the movie before the movie even starts because. And I let them be kids, they're 13, 14-year-old kids. They're going to fuck around and have fun. So I tried to buy the seats close so we could sit next to each other, but I ended up kind of a couple seats down, so they were sitting all by themselves. And one of his friends went into the store before we went to the movies and bought a speaker, like a Bluetooth speaker.
Mm-hmm.
and he was playing all kind of fucked up shit through the Bluetooth speaker in the movie theater. And so, yeah, little twerpy movie theater security guy, whatever he wants to call himself, tries to kick them out. And like I stood up and shut it down real quick. I'm like, nobody's going anywhere. Give me the speaker. They'll sit down and watch the movie. Like, we'll be good. And It wasn't even when the movie started. It was during all the
credits.
Yeah, all the credits, and the movie hadn't even started yet. To let kids be kids, but that movie was sick. It's Christmas themed, so I think one of the first, they didn't show it, but one of the first murders of the movie was a kid.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. First murders of the movie was a kid. Disassembles the whole body. Mom comes in the room, sees her little Billy in pieces. But yeah, sick, nasty, gory horror is what I like.
I'm assuming you've seen like the Saw movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those.
No?
No, none of them.
Yeah, no.
Simon loves those too.
Those are crazy. The ones that are like the spirit movies or the ghosts or whatever, like all that. I think that shit's kind of whack. But yeah, that nasty, dirty.
The ghost ones are whack. Like I think watching like The Conjuring.
Yeah,
like watching that is like the first time I watched it, I was like, this is sick. And The Conjuring is a really good movie. But then it's like the other 7 Conjurings they made. I'm like, this.
It's like all the same.
Same story, literally same actors too. Yeah. Like it's just over and over and over again.
The same spirit keeps coming back.
Yeah, that gets exhausting.
But then even the gory ones, it's like they kill the guy every movie, but yet there's 3 or 4 of the movies where the guy comes back. It's like, I don't know.
It's like he's back, or like Chucky. It's like,
yeah,
he's back again.
How is he back again?
Yeah, we fucking nuked him last time. Like,
yeah,
what the hell? What else are we supposed to do?
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm trying to watch more like older movies like that. We're going to see Nosferatu on Christmas, which is like, it's like a vampire movie, but the original, it's like a remake. The original one came out in 1922 or something. It was a silent film.
Oh shit,
which is crazy. And so they're remaking it. It's coming out on Christmas, so we're kind of on like a old horror movie kick, trying to just like get in the mood.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dracula was like really cool. Yeah, it was cool. Except for the fact that they fucking haunted our house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good because it's told through letters too, and we found that out after. So it's like an account, like because it's based off the book, and the book is all like letters to people. Oh, it's like, oh hey, this happened, this date, this happened.
Yeah.
And knowing that now, the movie makes so much more sense because it was very sporadic what was happening, and I'd be like,
probably everybody's
what is going
stories.
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like accounts of what happened, which makes more sense in retrospect because it's like all of a sudden like there's like Dracula's like raping this bitch, and then it's like then you're like walking in the streets of London, and you're like, wait,
what happened?
We're just gonna skip over that?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I guess it's just like accounts of what happened.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, man. Clowns. Why clowns? I remember I asked you if you ever got tattoos.
None. Still, I'm waiting. I want to go with like a group of people because I've never gotten one, so I want to be around people that have experienced it before. I talk about it all the time. I'm like, yo, if somebody sets up the date, like I'll show up. Clowns, I think one of my first baby dolls as a kid was a two-faced clown that had the happy face and the sad face. And it stuck with me for years. I wish I still had it. I've probably lost it in moving and things like that. But yeah, it just stuck with me. It was something my mom gave me when I was a baby. So I think holding on to that is like holding on to her type of thing. 'Cause, you know, she's no longer here and everything like that. But yeah, it just kind of reminds me of her for some reason. And then the horror was just, I mean, who doesn't like horror films, you know?
Yeah, horror films are, there is something very special about them. Like when you're watching them, it's like, it's a very like physical reaction.
And just the creepiness of something that's supposed to bring you joy, you know? A clown, you think of the circus, you think of happy times, but that ain't what it is now.
Not when they're chopping people up.
Yeah. So that's, I think, where I kind of found my whole, and wrestling too. There was a wrestler, Doink the Clown. And it was the same thing. He started out as this happy-go-lucky character, and then they made him like into an evil clown. So I think maybe that's what it is. It's the two sides of of everybody. Everybody has their happy go lucky,
Yeah.
and then they got the other side. So
Fuck yeah. So I asked Isaiah this too, and I think it's like a good question for people, particularly chefs. But what like invisible scars has this industry left on you? We kind of talked about Tina and Carlos a little bit, and I know you knew both of them as well.
yeah.
So like I know it's a little bit heavier of a topic, but like how has this industry like left its mark on you? You think?
Ooh, that's a big question. I would say,
I think it's important too because
yeah,
people like, I mean, obviously love Anthony Bourdain, but he really like popped the top off the industry and kind of showed people what it was, and people really started getting into it and getting after it with like partying and everything. And I think that there's a lot that like
yeah,
goes into it.
yeah. Well, because I think just in general, it's a hard business. It's working long hours. You're around the same people. Those people become your family. So when you hear of things like Tina and Carlos and being wrapped up in the drugs and the partying, I think we tend to say, well, I worked hard, I got my ass kicked, I worked these long hours. I need to not feel for a while. I need to find, that escape to make me forget about this 60 hours, 70 hours, or 14-hour day I just pulled. And then we all kind of come together and find this common place to go, whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking, whatever drug whatever you decide to do to kind of escape that, and then we show up the next day and we do it all over again. Yeah, I was involved in some not so fun things, especially me and Carlos. Me and Carlos would have a blast together, and just to see it happen to people that you're close to is tough. It's really tough. So yeah, I would say losing people that you thought would be there, it really makes you think, like, shit, man, like at any point that could have been me.
Yeah,
you know
it's almost like the hole that they leave is like very like loud. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. And I mean, I worked with Tina years ago, and I know you have probably had a few brush-ins with her. She was always, up and down with that type of stuff. Same thing with Carlos. I mean, even years before any of them, I had a group of people that we would do the same thing, meet up after work, do our thing, get fucked up, do it all over again. As I get older, pushing 40, I'm realizing that that's not it's not the way to go. I mean, a drink after work here and there is cool, but I can remember days of partying all night, having to be there the next morning, hungover. It's not a good quality of life that you're setting for yourself. So, but it's tough to not get into it and feed into it because everyone's out there, doing what they think is their getaway. So you want to be a part of that because you don't want to be the guy that just goes home. So then it becomes, you got to try to, fit in with the crowd, but that's not really that important.
It is though. That's something I struggle with for sure. Is like people take it too far.
Yeah.
And I am like, I try hard not to get involved. Like again, like I'll fucking smoke a blunt. I'll have like I'll get trashed. Like but like people take it too far. And like I remember like going out with some people at a place I used to work at, and they were like, "Oh hey man, you want to like snort some Adderall?" And I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea what's in that fucking pill you just took out of a dime bag."
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that it's just very like it's very real, and like you don't like I was just like I want to cook. I want to go to culinary school, but
Yeah.
it's such a that social like substance abuse aspect of it is so prevalent.
Yeah.
Like so much more prevalent even than I like expected.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It got me hooked for a while. And then I had Caden and I cleaned my whole shit up. I was like, yeah, no more of that
which is
stuff.
incredible.
Yeah. Because, you dibble and dabble, think you can make it out. And then fucking next thing you know, it's been 2, 3 years. You're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
I have accomplished nothing. If anything, you dig yourself a hole. And then the people that were around you doing that, they're not around anymore. What are they, they move on to the next person. If you're not suiting a need for them, they move on from you. So you're not as important as you once thought you were. It was just kind of your party buddies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so now I just go to work, take my ass home. Sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, man, I wanna go out and cause some trouble, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I do have my nights, you know, but it's very far and few between the go home and go to bed or go home and get ready and go back out and stay up all night. It's not really where it's at.
Yeah,
but,
stay out all night and you got to be at work at 9 the next day.
Yeah, and actually be able to perform your job and not be a bum. Yeah. So, but the people that don't make it out, that's what kind of sticks with me. Is like, man, like what did I do? How did I make it out? How come they didn't make it out? Like what the fuck's up with that? It's the people that matter more than the job, I would say. I mean, if you think about all the places you've worked and cooked and people you've been around, there's not too many stories of that don't include someone or some story of this guy or that, you know, cook, or this happened with this, you know. It's all kind of focused around the people that you meet and interact with.
Because that's who you're spending time with day to day.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter so much what company you work for or what restaurant or what you're doing. Like that, yeah, like it's that, but the people that you're around, it makes up like how you're feeling. Like in just like your day to day.
Or just even...
Because you're right, it is your family. Like I remember the hardest thing for me with Carlos was like, I remember really close before he died, like he brought like rice and corned beef and beans that was just like mixed together. And he was like, yeah, dude. And we were just like, I was sitting on the floor on saute and he was on grill and we were just sitting and eating together. And he just kept going like, dude, like this is like, you're my family, dude. You're my fucking brother. And I was like, dude, I love you. Like you really like, there's a camaraderie that occurs when you work in kitchens because you're, especially busy ones, because you're in the shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just like hours of suffering with these people who aren't your family.
Right.
But you see them way more than your family. So they become so important. And then yeah, when something like that happens and it's just like all of a sudden Yehudi's coming up and it's like, hey man, you know, Carlos is dead. It's like, yeah. I remember plating a muscle Mozambique with like tears streaming down my face and just being like, fuck dude. Like just gotta keep plating. It's fucked.
You have to bring up the muscles. You know, we played it that way because of you. And we all fucking curse your name for plating the muscles so pretty.
Hey man.
Like, man, fuck you, man.
I love that, bro. I love that. Keep cursing me.
Yeah, for real, dude.
No, but that's what it's all about, dude. Like, and that's kind of what I was talking about with quality standard. Is like I had like somewhat of an impact at the whale, like just on that dish, like, and that to me is like, it's like everything, dude. Like that's like I love like improving things and also like inspiring people. I think is really cool. Like I've met some people who are younger, like Araceli at Sail Off. Like she's like this little high schooler and she's like, but she works like 50 hours a week in the summer. Like she busts it down. She's 17 and she's like, she's been like, you inspire me. And I'm like, dude, like you inspire me.
Right.
Like you're 17. It's like, that's like the coolest thing. But yeah, no, but sorry, I kind of went off on a tangent there.
No, that's cool.
Edible.
Yeah. Hey, you're catching up.
But the like the muscle, I tried to do that at Sail Off. I was like, stop fucking plating him like that. I'm like,
you got lucky because Billy Boy walked by the window and saw it and was like, we're doing it like this from now on.
yeah, sorry, my ass is falling asleep.
Yeah, nah,
this chair's below.
That'll be the next budget item.
Slightly better chairs.
Chairs with a cushion.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It makes me smile to know that everybody's cursing me.
Oh my god!
Well, and I did it out of spite too, really, because I probably wouldn't have done it, but James has a mouth on him.
Oh yeah.
And that motherfucker was like, "Hey man, we'll see when the summer comes if you're still plating them like that, man." And I'm like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm gonna plate every muscle like this, and I'm gonna make a point to do it just because you said it's impossible.
Yeah, and I'm probably just like, shut the fuck up, James. Flip the burger.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be plating any muscles, so what do you care?
Dude, fucking James.
James would be fun to have on here.
I'll fucking both of you at the same time.
Dude, that'd be
mad fun.
Yeah. He's a new dad too. So I've known James for a long time, and just to see his progression, becoming a dad and how it's changed him. He's mellowed out a lot because he knows he needs to shut the fuck up and make this money, or else,
Yeah, dude.
it's not going to be too good for him. But yeah, it's funny to see that side of him, especially when he brings his kid in and everyone's in
His
love
kid's
over the
adorable
baby.
too,
Yeah.
It's funny to see him be a dad because
Yeah.
I also knew him like right before he had a kid. Like I think
Yeah.
I got there and it was like 3 months before he was like,
Oh yeah, and then he left for
and then he
a
left.
while.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, seeing him like just have that big smile on his face when he comes into his kid is so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. He just brought him the other day, and I love seeing little kids just because my son's 13 now. So just to see him in that form, little dumb little baby, like you can just say whatever you want to him. I kept teasing him. I'm like, you have such a big head, and they have no clue what they're saying. They just all smiles. So it's fun to see. But yeah, the people definitely leave an impact on you for sure. I was going back to Carlos. We were hanging out a lot before he passed, talking all the time, partying, all that fun stuff. And I was one of the last people to talk to him. He came over, we were hanging out, smoking a joint, have a couple beers, and then that was it. The next time I had talked to him, we were supposed to meet up. I remember hitting him up and being like, yo, dude, I'm going to see you tomorrow. And he got back to me. And then the next day comes, I can remember I was at the gym, and he's usually very quick. Boom, he'll text me. Didn't hear from him for a whole day. Next morning comes, I'm at the gym, and I just so happened to check my phone, and we had our read receipts on, and it showed that he read my message, didn't ever say anything to me. And I think it was because someone must have found his phone and just happened to like open it up. But yeah.
Yeah, and your message was probably like right there.
Yeah. So
Man,
that was tough.
Yeah, dude, heavy.
Yep. Heavy like me, man. I just gained all my weight back that I lost talking about going to the gym.
Oh, dude, me too.
Nightmare. I was going strong for so long, dude, like a year straight, looking all
You're still looking good though.
cut up and like a tough guy. And then I don't know, I just kind of lost interest. I kind of got comfortable, I think, because it took a while, but the transformation, I was like, oh, this is nice. Feel a lot better, eating healthier. And I don't know. I think it was just summertime at the whale, dude. Just fucking, there's no time. There's no time.
No time. And then also like you need to eat something, but there's no time. So it's like, okay, you're just eating whatever's available. And usually it's like a boom boom shrimp or something.
Next thing you know, 3-4 months go by. And I'm like, shit. So,
Yeah, dude. When I left Sail Loft, I think I was 195 or something. Just like pretty. That's like when I was working that much, it's like kind of what I walk around at. And now just like not working for 2.5 months, I'm literally like 215.
Yeah.
Like fucking gain like 20 pounds, just like that.
It happens so fast, but then it'll come off quick too.
Just gotta, once I start working full time, I think it'll come off pretty quick.
Yeah, get back in the swing of things. That's been my problem. It's just been I'll go back, then I'll be sore, so I won't go the next day, and then I won't go for a week, and then it's 2 weeks, and I'm like, fuck, Just gotta get back in the swing of things. My problem is staying up late, stuck on YouTube, not getting much sleep. I would usually bring him to school, and then that would be my morning. I would bring him to school. Don't go home, because if you go home, going back to bed, I'm waking up. It's 11:30. My whole day is gone. So I would just go to the gym right from dropping him off at school, and so I stopped doing that. I would just go home and hit the bed because it just looks so nice.
Yeah, dude.
And that's been my last fucking 3 months. So I got to get out of that rut.
I didn't go to the gym for quite a while. Like I put this pull-up bar up, and I've been doing pull-ups and push-ups and this and that. And I like working out at home a lot, especially since I just got squat bricks. They're like little wedges you put under your feet, so you can do like squats without like pronating outward.
Yeah.
But I've been going to the gym recently a little bit, like once a week, just with my sister, and Sienna just came one time, because she has like a whole workout plan, but they're like pretty light. They're not very difficult workouts. So we just I'll go with her. I'm mostly just going to do the sauna, so I really enjoy the sauna.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, I did the sauna a couple times. They have one at Workout World in Dartmouth. That's where I usually go. It's like right near the house, so it's in the mall. So, but it's good. It's what's good about us being being cooks is that like a lot of the people are like, oh, it's what you eat. You know, it's tough to eat this, it's tough to eat that. But for us being in the kitchen all day, we're going golden.
Yeah.
If I want to eat a piece of salmon and some rice or whatever, like
Facts.
I really have control of like what I'm putting in. So yeah, once I get back on that good eating schedule, and I'm giving myself till after the holidays. I know it's just an excuse.
You can't eat well during the holidays. It's just
yeah,
impossible.
Yeah.
And anybody who does is a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, you're weighing out your chicken and rice and like there's a brisket on the table. It's like, bro, just fucking
slice that bad boy up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no coming away from that. So give myself realistic goals. That too I think is important, is setting realistic goals. So that way you're not, you know, disappointing yourself. Because it's tough, you know, you're your own critic. You're going to be the hardest on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and mine's like times a million, just because that's just the type of person I am. That's why I think working the job that I have and all the responsibilities, everything, it kind of keeps me going. It keeps me to have something to work towards. So I need to apply that to like my outside life, you know, and get my shit together there, because at work it's total different than at home. And I think it's because I put so much into work and I'm the main guy, so I have to be available for everyone. So when I leave that position, I'm just like decompressed, man. I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people. I don't want to do nothing. I want to cradle up, be lazy, but then that's also not good.
That's the tough thing, is you want to just, and I was suffering with that too, dude, is it's like you work this tough week and then you have 2 days off and it's a weekday. So everybody else in your life is working. So the first day you just sleep. Yeah. And then you get up, basically have dinner, hang out, do whatever. And then the next day is like your one chance of getting anything done, like in your personal life. Yeah. And then it's back to work. And like, yeah, it just goes so quick.
Just in that grind.
I can't believe that it's been 2 years since like I started at the Whale. Like it feels like it blew by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%.
Holy shit.
Because I worked for a year there and then I went to sail off right after. I worked there for a year. So it's been 2 years and 3 months since I started there. Wow. But I know, like, it feels like no time has passed. Right. But also it feels like a lifetime. Like, it's weird. Yeah. How time passes when you're working a lot. And I don't think people really realize that, because most people just work 40 hours a week and they sit at a desk and then they go home and they don't have to worry about their job when they're not at work. And so they're just like, they have a lot more time to themselves. And also that's like the days off on a weekday is weird, because like all my friends and all my family are, you know, Monday through Friday. Yeah. It's just standard work week. But then when your days off on Monday, Tuesday, nobody wants to fucking hang out on a Tuesday night. Yeah. Like nobody does. Nobody wants to. And if you do, I always feel bad, because you're driving out here. All my friends are in Framingham from like growing up. Yeah. So they're driving out here. I'm driving out there. And it's just like. And you don't really have the time you want to spend because you got to work the next day. Exactly. Yeah. You can't even stay up and like go crazy or do anything. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you got work and responsibilities and stuff. Yeah. Especially when you're like a chef and not like, if you're a cook, whatever, dude. Like, as long as you can prep your station and do whatever, great. But like when you're a chef, you have to show up and lead. Yeah. Like, that's even like, I mean, shit, back in the day, going out to the dumpster, taking a couple puffs, coming back in, them days are gone. I'm pinned straight at work. There's no bullshit. There's no time for bullshit. I have to be on at every second of every day. I think that's good though, because it's like, I mean, yeah, it's like, you know, you fucking have a drink at work or do whatever, like, it's all good. But it's like, why? You know, it's like you want to do a good job and you want to do your best. And then like I found, like, if I ever do that, it's like I enjoy it so much less because I need to be on. Yeah. Whereas like if I'm home, then I can actually enjoy myself. Right. Like I'll have an edible or smoke or something. It's like now I can watch a movie or eat. Yeah. Or do something and not have to like sweat and stand with a bunch of dudes. Yeah, listen to a million calls or having the chef. Yeah, and then you're getting lost and you're doing shit. Yeah. And you're just like, fuck, man, I'm not even doing well right now. Like, what am I doing? Yeah. It ruins it real quick. Yeah, very quick. Yeah. That's what I mean, I try to let the cooks kind of do their thing, and as long as it doesn't interfere, I'm pretty much That's cool. The biggest thing. Like, we had this dude at Sail Off, and he was just always just cooked, but so blatant. Like, but just shows up and it just fucking reeks. His eyes are just bloodshot. He's
Yeah.
like, "It's good, blood. What's up, man?" I'm like, "What's up, bro?" And he's doing his thing, but he's holding it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything to him.
Hell no.
No, because he's holding it down, and I don't want him to quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then some people can't hold it down, like that motherfucker. What's his name?
Oh,
I don't
know.
even want. I'm not gonna say his name. You know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Fucking yeah. Let's not say names there. But that day where the same dude I just described, who was fucked up all the time, gave him fucking half a Wonka bar.
Oh my god.
Bro, he was grinding panko and he's putting it in quarts. A 50-pound bag of panko. He was quarting it up. And
you're like, who told you to do that?
Yeah, it's fucking retarded, dude. Oh my god, it was so funny.
You're talking about a dude that got caught up drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh man, dude, we were like, he just came on the line, looked at me, fucking was what I was talking about earlier, but looked at me, and we're just dying, bro. And he's like, just looking at us, walks in the line, walks away, doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
There's been plenty of moments with that guy. The funny story about him that I got is he came in to do his thing, and you know, everybody before we open the doors for business, they go out, they have the cigarette, whatever. So he did that, and it's like, we're open, tickets are coming in. I'm like, where is this guy, dude? Like, come out, looking, nowhere. Text him, yo, man, where'd you go? Like, where are you?
You can't disappear. Like,
and he had made up some type of a story about his eye. Like, he had to go get some medication for his eye because his eye was infected, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wait, we're talking about two different people.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm talking about skinny motherfucker with the tattoos on Raw Bar for you.
Oh,
yeah, that's
kid.
who I was talking about.
Courting up the court?
Yeah, courting up the panko. Yeah.
That dude, I have stories about him too.
Yeah.
So about this.
But I also know who you're talking about there, and he actually came with me the same day that I went to Sail Loft. We showed up at the same time.
Oh god.
Dude, imagine how like I was feeling, dude, when we pulled up. I was like, "Hey man, I'm here to be a sous chef. I've never been a sous chef before."
Yeah. And we're like, and we got
other
this
guy's
guy.
like, duh.
So crazy. So I get a call from the local bar, like, yo, homies at the bar just threw up all over the bar top. And I'm just like, he's supposed to be my grill guy.
Like right now.
What the fuck is going on? Oh shit. But that other dude, Oyster Boy, that dude was lost, man. Like I'd come around the corner looking for oysters. He's just watching TV on his phone. I'm like, yo, you have a ticket for 12? He's like, yeah, it's right here. I'm like, where is it? Like, what?
Why are you watching Family Guy?
Why are you watching?
Bro? Like,
yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get to it right now. I'm like, bro, you should have got to it. Like, what are you talking about?
When he came, it was so weird when he came too, because
it's very strange.
It's strange because he showed up for a stage, didn't talk to anybody. No one knew he was coming. And he was like, oh yeah, I like work at the Whale. I'm trying to pick up some more hours. But he was just starting to talk to Yehudi about getting hired. So he wasn't hired yet. And he just showed up for a stage. And we were like, oh, he works at the Whale. We'll just put him on.
Yep.
Nope.
Really? That's how
that's how he got a job for us.
Good for him. He just snuck in there.
He finessed his way in. Yeah, but we were like, all right, bro, like, because he's got the tats, skinny, young looking. We were like, this guy's probably a fucking dog.
Right.
So we were like, put him on grill. We were like, yeah, man. Like, here you go. Like, this station's pretty easy. Like, showed him where everything was, taught him how to do it. And we were like, it's pretty easy if you know your temperatures. And he goes, what do you mean temperature range? And I was like, oh, fuck. This guy doesn't know anything. And then he set up this, we told him the temperature ranges and he wrote them down, like medium rare, all this stuff. And then he put it up and then he labeled them with colors and then he used the toothpicks to do it, which is, kind of smart. But he like needed that. Like he needed the toothpicks or he would get very confused. And they're like, this guy. And then I hear that he's from Sayana, I hear that he's at the Whale, not even able to keep up with Raw Bar. And we're like, why the fuck are we putting him on grill? Like, what are we? But we had no one else at that time. That was midsummer. Yeah. We were 6 people just quit. We were so desperate. Yeah. We were like, we need you to just flip these burgers.
That's
and
it, man.
Please. And he couldn't. Like he did not last after that.
Yeah, he didn't have he didn't understand like the hustle and bustle that you need to be working at a restaurant, especially any of ours because they're always so busy. But he had come to us and he said he was working for some chef. They're more of a slower. That should have been my fucking red flag right there. Slower, like fine dining type style to where you got all the time to have everything come together and this and that. And yeah, I should have known then. But like you said, he came in with the tats, talking about he works here, he does this. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he looks the part.
Yeah, we put him on saute, and he couldn't tell the difference between like swordfish and halibut. You know, he didn't know what any of that was. And so I look at the other cook, I'm like,
I don't see why people do that though, because if the same dude would just be like, hey man, I've never worked in a kitchen before, but I really want to learn.
Yeah.
Just put him on salads. Work your way up, bro.
Yeah.
Like just do it the hard way.
Right.
And like then you're a solid cook. Like by the time you work your way up to saute, it's like you're a good cook.
Yeah.
So but everybody wants to be like, oh, I have a lot of experience.
Right.
And it's like, well,
do you?
Yeah. That's kind of how I was coming out of culinary school because I thought I had a lot of experience, but then I was like, wait a minute, no, I don't. I was like, wait, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's why you couldn't have landed in a probably better spot over there, man.
That's why I came there, dude, because all my chefs that I met from school, at Oscar, like everywhere, I would always leave when I was leaving, like my last day, I'd be like, okay, chef, like what can I improve on? Like just brutally honest.
Yeah.
Everyone was just like, get faster. And I was like, okay. Like it was just consistent. Everyone was like, get faster. Like you're slow, like move quicker.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So when I graduated, I was like busiest restaurant, New Bedford, Black Whale.
Boom.
And I was like, cool. And then I went there to eat with my family, and then Will just happened to be at the host stand.
Yeah. And
I had my Oscar bag and my Culinary Institute sweatshirt on, not on purpose. That just happened to be what I was wearing. And he was like, where do you work? I was like, I don't work anywhere. I just graduated. He was like, where have you worked? I was like, I've literally only worked at Oscar. It's the only place. And he knew Oscar because he worked at 11 Madison Park. So like everybody in New York, Michelin guide, like they all know each other.
Yeah.
And he was like, cool. You want a job? And I was like, sure. And then I showed me around the kitchen. I came for my stage, worked grill with Carlos and you, and yeah, the rest is history.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, but I think the Black Whale was really good for me because it definitely like, it's like a real kitchen, really fucking busy.
Yeah.
Like as busy as any New York restaurant, like super, super high volume, no bullshit. I mean, there's some bullshit, but like, you know what I mean? Like you can't, if you're like that guy we were just talking about, it's like you don't last.
Yeah, you're not going to make it. Yeah, you got to be able to work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to kind of fix over there right now is that we're all fucking playing hard, bro. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody working hard. I mean, we are.
Well, it's also, it's December, which is like, that's the hardest part is getting complacent when it slows down.
Yeah.
Because you can just be like, whatever, there's only 6 tickets on the board. But in summer, everybody dreads summer. Yeah. But I really like summer around here because there's no bullshit.
Right. There's no time for it.
And work just flies by. Like you show up, it's just like bang, 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 bang. Okay, bye guys.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Intense.
For sure. And so now we've seen a little bit of a spike in business because of the outside. And so we don't, I mean, it's not summer. It's not a summer day like at all. But it's a busier winter where we're used to like kind of autopilot. And so like that's not happening, especially with me, Andre, and Gabino. Because Yehudi's very soft-spoken. He'll get the point across, but it might take a little bit. Us three, we're like, no. Like, ain't happening. And so it's good to have them two with me because at first it was kind of just me and Yehudi. And Yehudi had his way and I had my way. And so it's tough. So now that I have a couple of other guys that are kind of buying into like, no fucking bullshit, bro. Like, come in, talk about your station, talk about the food. Let's, you know, before we say, hey, you fucking loser, what are you taking so long on this? Like, make sure, you know, get yourself set up, get yourself ready to go. Then you guys can, like, I don't care. I don't have many rules. Be ready. That's it. That's all I care about. And be able to execute. If you're not able to do that because you're over here fucking around, well, that doesn't work, you know? Mm-hmm. And I mean, you've worked with me, so you've seen it. And it's funny, Siano will probably have millions of stories about my smart mouth here and there. But no, it's just because I allow you, I give you the rope, bro. You want to hang yourself with it, that's on you. But, you know, what is expected of you, I'm going to hold you to that. And just like I hold myself to that, you know, You have to, especially high volume. High volume, you gotta go, dude. You can't spend too much time fucking around. And so it's a very hard balance to let people be people, their own little, and do their own little thing in their own little ways, but also have a goal to meet, and we all get on the same page and meet that goal and get there. And it's great to have those awesome nights where it happens. And what I've been kind of talking to them about is like, if you can hear the good stuff, then please be ready to hear the not so good stuff, because I'll let you know either way, you know, because I think that's important too. I can remember Not Your Average Joe's was like my first like entrance into like from scratch cooking, where we would be making everything. And we worked hard, dude. We would get slammed, and this manager was just very like always blah, 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 just having just negative. And I was one of the newer cooks there, so I kind of can't believe I said it to her, but I did, because I just think it's important. I just said, hey, all day long, all we hear from you is like shit. Like, can we hear good job once in a while? That would go a long fucking way.
So important, dude.
And so I try to make sure that the morale is where it needs to be. And if it's not, I do what I can to make it happen. And I think that they all understand that and see that. And it's kind of cool to be in this type of position and have a bunch of guys like, I know that they got my back just like I have their back. It's kind of cool. And then we weed through the motherfuckers that don't pretty easily. They don't last very long, which is good, because you don't want to fucking hang on to just dead weight. Some fucking dude shucking oysters that can't even get the oysters out. Like, come on, brother.
Yeah. And also it's like, well, like one person can bring down morale for everybody.
Yeah. I
remember when I first got to the well, I was like, dude, fuck James. Because at 6 o'clock every day, be like, are we done yet? Can I go home, Randy? And I'm just like,
he's still the same, bro.
Dude, like that would kill me. But then like we go into summer and it's just that like brotherhood, camaraderie thing. It's like you just like, you know, learn to love everybody around you.
We just we you know, we do pre-meals every day, or try to, when we can get to it. And one of the last ones, because it's always the same, oh, we have 100 covers, so let's help each other out. So I said, I'm not going to sit here and say we got this many covers and help you guys fucking know to do that. Let's just cut the bullshit. Let's just make sure you're ready. Do what you got to do. Fucking positive attitude. If I need something, get it to me. Like, you guys know how, we all know how we work. Let's just fucking make it happen. And I think that was so much more effective than just like, all right, make sure we're ready and have your station. Like, they know all that.
Yeah.
They know all that. So the thing that sucks is that works well if they perform. If they don't, then everyone's looking at me like, well, what did you tell them? You know, it's like, then I kind of look like an asshole, but I really try to put it in their hands, and then I'll go down with them. I don't give a fuck, dude. You know, if we sucked, you think you're going to hear it from me? Imagine how many people I have to hear it from, dude.
Yeah.
And those are the motherfuckers that are important. I ain't shit. You guys are lucky to have, you know, someone like me being able to have to be the one to come down on you, because I will, but at the end of the day, like, I'm very fair with how I try to interact with everyone, and, you know, give people chances. And like I said, I like to let them hang themselves to dry if that's what they're going to do. I give you all the opportunity. If you don't want to do anything with that, then it's on you. There's been plenty of times where I'd have to pull people aside and be like, look, they're not telling me to tell you this, but you don't want me to have to tell you this when it's like,
when it's time.
Man. Like, you know, we got to fucking get our shit together. They're going to be coming at me, asking me questions, dude. And I just want you to, you know, it's time to fucking, whatever you're doing is great, but there's a couple things we can work on here. Let's do that. Sound good? Cool. If not, like it says, dude, there's a line of people waiting.
See, the one thing with that, because I've heard him say that many times, is like, I don't think that that's good for morale to say that, because then nobody feels valued. Yeah. So like, why are you going to stay if like, it's like, okay, I'm replaceable. Great. I'll go get another job.
See ya.
Hire the person who doesn't speak English or has no experience. Go for it.
Right.
But then the long-term negative effect of thinking like that is all your good people don't feel valued, so they slowly trickle out.
Yep.
And then you replace them with like mediocrity, and then service quality goes down, food quality goes down, and then in the long term, people stop coming.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, that meal fucking there blew.
Right.
Like, it sucked. Like, why would I go spend so much money at a place where it's like I'm not even being served well, pun intended, and like, you know what I mean? So you really gotta like people need to feel valued and morale needs to be high. Like, I think that's critical.
Yeah, no,
and everybody always is like, when you're like saying, like, when you're a sous chef or you're in a leading role, it's like, oh, I'm not here to be your friend. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, you're not here to make friends, great, but it really helps if you can like be not an asshole.
Yeah,
and like, because then people respect you and they see that you respect them, and you're treating them like a human, and they know that they're appreciated. Dapping people up after a crazy day, giving people hugs, like, dude, fuck yeah, we made it. Like, just like
small things.
Yeah,
like
because
that
then now everybody's starting to feel like a family. Like, I think I always say that I think that there's chefs that can like lead and teach, and then there's chefs that yell.
Yeah,
it's one or the other.
Right.
Yeah. Because yelling does nothing. As soon as someone's yelling, they're not listening anymore. They've shut down. All they're thinking is, oh my God, he's yelling at me.
Right.
Like,
they're not even listening to what is being talked about.
Yeah. So I try really hard to like control when I'm going to like raise my voice at someone. Because like, I mean, I've seen the effect it can have. Like, me and my stepmom used to not get along growing up very well. And I remember one time she was just like we were having dinner and she was just like, we were really getting into it. Like, really, like, and Sayana was over. Like, my whole family's there. Like, we're just there, and she's like nitpicking everything I say. I just fucking explode, dude. Like, screaming at her. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I want to go to my dad's. I don't want to be around you. Like, and I'm just like screaming. I've never yelled like that before. And nobody benefited from that.
No.
Sayana was crying. She was crying. Everybody was sad. Dinner was ruined. It's like, so that was just like great example of like, hey man, like, there's no need to do that. I mean, I don't think I was in the wrong for yelling, but I do think that like it's important to control when you do. Yeah. Because it also has way more of an impact. If you're yelling all the time, it's just like, okay, this guy's just loud and he's an asshole and he's always yelling. But if you kind of like, you only save it for when someone really fucks up, then they're like, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Which I think I've done a good job of that, because when I do have to kind of straighten everybody out, they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're like, oh fuck, Randy's like he's
really mad.
Yeah, because you're always you're always a jolly guy, so it's like, when shit gets serious, gotta turn it on for a second.
Yeah, and it's like we have fun. Like one of the oven cooks, this dude Alex, he's a young kid.
I love him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that motherfucker started this thing with me where he'll sneak shit into my pockets. So like, I'm just walking the line, checking everybody out, whatever, yeah. And then like a couple hours go by, I'm like, where the fuck are my pants wet, dude? And I'll look. And I'll be pulling green beans out of my back pocket. This dude's like throwing green beans into my pocket as I'm like trying to get serious with everybody. So it's
so funny.
It's so fucked. It's funny
because you find a fucking scallop in your back pocket. Because
I'll find him and I'll go to look at him in the window and I'll like throw it back at him. I'm like, dude, we're busy, man. Why are you fucking with me? But it kind of sets the tone back to like, all right, like this is only food and it is, it's a job and it's tough, but it's good to have the balance. Mm-hmm. And I would come home and wash and dry my clothes and find green beans in my pockets, dude. Unreal.
Fucking hilarious. Yeah. It's like reverse pickpocketing you when it's like very busy.
I'm like, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing this?
Probably years of actual pickpocketing.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's how he made his money back in his country.
No, he's funny. When we just came to eat, was it yesterday? I don't know. Time is all weird right now. No, not yesterday. I worked yesterday. The day before yesterday when we came to eat, we were like at the host stand and we were in, and I like look in the kitchen. I'm like seeing who's in there. And I just see Alex. He's like looking at me. I'm looking at him and he's just like, I'm like, hey, bud.
Or he'll hit me with he'll come at like, hey, I have a question for this ticket. And he'll go to show me the ticket. And he'll be like, I'm like, dude, like we're busy, bro. I got a window full of food.
How old is he?
I think he's like young, 19.
Where I was going to say, he's one of those people that could be either 19, 15, or 34.
Yeah.
And like none of them would surprise me.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Genuinely.
No, I think he's like 19. Because we've had moments after work where we would like have a drink and he can't drink. So, so
I think going back to what you said earlier about the chefs and how you guys kind of have a good team right now. I remember like the year that I was there, it seemed like the biggest issue was, like one of the chefs. Like you remember fucking, you know what I'm talking about. Like everything just seemed to revolve around like this dude cannot do his job properly. Why is he even in this role? And I'm glad to see that you guys have kind of moved on, even though like I love that dude too.
Yeah. Solid.
And
cook.
I wish no bad stuff on him, but it definitely, I don't think it was a good role for him. And especially with it getting busier and busier and busier.
Yeah.
It's like, he's just going to fall further and further behind, inevitably.
Yeah. So now we got a good group of guys, which is good. And then
having Kenny back too is really good. That was a big L when Kenny left. I was like, dude, he was cool.
Yeah.
And he was a solid cook too. And then he left to run Ice House.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah. And then I saw him back there the other day and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny's back.
Yeah.
Big Kenny.
It's tough giving everybody hours too because of the slow time, but I try to take care of those guys. He just got an overnight job too, so he's working like overnights doing something, working for us. I try to let them know like when it starts to slow down, like, you know, if you can find something else a little bit on the side, but come spring, summertime, like you'll have.
Yeah, we'll call upon you.
Yeah, so because it sucks too, like doing the schedule, and I'm like fucking with people's money. I remember when I first started doing it, I'd have trouble. I'm like, man,
I felt that for sure, dude.
These dudes are working 40 hours a week for us. Now all of a sudden they're getting 22 hours. That's a lot of money, man. And that's like, I'm doing that.
Yeah, I've literally gotten texts from dudes being like, you are taking food out of my daughter's mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to hit a number.
Yeah.
And like, you're useless.
Yeah. And like some of
I
the,
don't know what you want me to say, dude.
Some of the guys, like I feel bad doing it to everyone.
It feels
like,
horrible.
Someone like James, I would just give James shit because I've worked with him for so long. I'm like, hey, guess whose hours never get cut? I'm like, mine. Why don't you come be a fucking sous chef or something and get away from that grill and come make some money, bro, and you'll be fine.
I think he could. But he'd have to stop complaining.
Yeah.
And I don't know, take it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our moments of complaining, but it's, you know, you gotta
100%.
do it to the right people. Like, I try not to say much in front of people unless it's like us, like the chefs, or like someone I know isn't gonna look at it as like a negative thing, you know, because, you know, there's gonna be plenty of times where we're like, man, what the fuck? But it's like, as soon as they start seeing that from you, then they get comfortable.
Yeah. Your attitude as like a leader is so much more important than like your average cook.
Yeah.
Because you influence it so much.
Yeah, you notice that if you come in, you're having a good day and everything kind of goes okay if you can keep your shit together. But like, once you as the leader lose your shit, everything just fucking goes to shit. So it's very tough to stay in that positive mind frame, because there's some days where it's like, bro, you're working a station, man. I'm making sure we're gonna do 40 grand today. I'm making sure we have everything we need, man. People, product, whatever. That expo in any kitchen is crazy, but I don't know, over there, man,
I can't imagine a harder expo like in any other restaurant, because it's ridiculously busy, and you have your main setup, and then you have the sushi one too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because you're really expoing for two different kitchens, and one of them is all the way over there, so there's no communication.
Right.
Like, I only expoed there like once, and it was not during dinner, it was like during lunch. So I never really got a chance to like taste the Wales expo, but I definitely did a lot at Sail Loft.
Yeah.
Which was, but we don't have sushi, so it's just one kitchen. But once you're doing like multiple subsections of a restaurant, I feel like that takes it to like the next level.
Yeah. Yeah. There, you know, the desserts, the sushi, the salads, and you got all the hot stuff.
Yeah, because you have your main window, your other window, and then sushi's being walked to you from across the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then you're getting all the tickets for everything. Yeah. You got to make sure it all goes to the right people.
Never mind when Susie, the server, fucks up an order or forgets to do something, or
on the fly
has a question about this and that, and I have to have the answer right away. It's It's a lot. It's definitely a lot to deal with. But
it's always funny when people say like, I need this thing on the fly, like right now. Because you literally asked me for a mid-well burger. Like, that takes like there's no, I can't speed that up.
Yeah.
Like, you're just, unless you fucking obliterate it, and like, then it's not servable. So you're like, all right, like, I'll just go out. Yeah, it's on the fly, man. But it's like, it's going to come out the same speed. Like, you're doing your best.
I'll just point them. I'll just have them look. Like, you see back there? You see all those tickets? You're kind of fucked. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put an order in. It's like, well, that is on you, bro.
You shouldn't have forgot. Because right now is not the time to forget.
Yeah.
As you can see, we got a bunch of hardworking guys back there. And not to sound like an asshole, but they don't really give a fuck that you forgot to bring your food in. I have to, and I'll do my best for you. But, so that's a whole other part of it, is you get that relationship with the front of house too. So it's like, you're dealing with the front of house and their whatever they got going on. I got to keep everybody in line in the kitchen. Then the bar is nice and close. So then I got to kind of maybe sometimes quiet myself down. Sometimes I get a little riled up and there's people around. Most of the guests are cool with it, and I've done pretty well, like interacting with the guests and bringing allergies out, talking to tables about things, and they're really appreciative of it. I actually, sometimes if there's like a table giving a server a hard time, like I'll go and talk to them, and it just like mellows out the whole experience, because they feel like, oh wow,
oh, we got some special attention.
Yeah. Or the funniest thing is when I'll bring the food and they're like, did you make all this? And I'm looking around, like I've never once like said this to any particular guest, but man, it runs in my head every time. It's like, did you make all of this? And I look around, it's like a fucking Saturday at like 6:30, and I'm like, this whole restaurant is full. And I'm like, yeah, I made every single dish there. And actually, every single dish that you see, I'm just back there.
Just me.
Just me. Like, what? I'm like, no, I didn't. To be honest, I didn't make any of this.
People are so dumb when it comes to food. Like, people's food IQ is actually so low, like so much lower than you'd expect too.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like we kind of take it for granted, because I'm always just like I'm just like, oh, like yesterday we were having French toast and eggs for dinner, and Sienna was like, I can't do two things at once. I'm like, dude, like, you're flipping French toast and you're making scrambled eggs. Like, do two things at once, because I'm trying to strain this chicken stock and like, set up a brine and everything. I was setting up a brine, straining chicken stock, making French toast, and trying to scramble eggs and make bacon all simultaneously. And I was like, can you just like do the French toast so I can like focus? He's like, I can't do eggs and French toast. So I was like, dude, you're gonna have to. But bless her soul.
Yeah. Yeah, I get her anxiety going. I'm out there sometimes, because she'll be doing takeout, and the tickets are just fucking running. And I'm like, just leave them. She's like, you sure you don't want me to pull these? I'm like, I'm sure. Just please leave them alone. But no, she's been really good. She helps me out a lot.
It makes me so happy that she's like interacting with you, and then also she's become like pretty close with Meredith.
Yeah.
And Bailey, and like we've gone out and gotten sushi a couple times, like. And like, especially her like hanging out with Meredith too is funny, because we started the same week at the Whale, and she was the first person I met. Other than you, but like at the staff party, because that was like I worked for like 2 or 3 days, and then it was like the staff party, and I was like, I'm gonna go and meet people. And I met Meredith there, and now like cut to 2 years later, and then Sienna and Meredith are like getting close, and I'm like, that's so cool. It's so sick.
It's kind of cool. But yeah, she's definitely has been there to help bail me out when I need it. And now she's worked her way up where she can touch the tickets now. It's okay.
Nice.
Like, where they go. Sometimes it's helpful for me, because I'm so busy doing something else. I'm like, she's like, do you want me to take care of these? I'm like, yeah, please, can you? Because I'm in the shit right now.
She loves organizing too, so it's probably fun for her.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll see sometimes I'll leave them in the printer and just hang it on the rail, so that way I don't lose my place. And they're just like everywhere. And she's like, how do you not? I'm like, trust me, like I got it. But yeah, if you want to help me, please. There's certain people, they just have to like work up to that, where they can kind of come and be in my little bubble. Other than that, it's like, get the fuck out of here. You tell me what you need, I'll try to help you the best I can. But I missed last summer, where we hired an expo and I was able to be in the kitchen with everybody. That was like that was,
I remember you were talking about doing that when I was still there.
yeah. So we finally did it. It helped me because I was able to be on the line in the kitchen. But I mean, she did okay. I think she was too confident in the beginning, and they told her kind of have this certain type of attitude and be this type. You got to be tough with the servers and blah blah. So she wasn't very well liked. She did an okay job, but she wasn't like humble to where like I'm on the other side of the line, making everything nice and easy for you. When I'm on that side, we don't have that. So like take this as like a blessing for you because other than that, when I'm on Expo, they cooks they don't. I mean, not that they don't care, but and I get it, if we're busy, um, but just like the way we would sell the tickets to help her and to help the servers, and they wouldn't come to her for any questions. It was me, so I'm cooking, I'm organizing from the other side, I'm doing everything I would do on Expo, but from the inside
while cooking.
Yeah,
which is just bonkers.
Yeah. So it was cool. I enjoyed that summer, and hopefully we get back to that this next summer. And what I keep trying to tell them is, we have our little food runners that will work with me. Some of these food runners have been with me a couple summers now. So I'm like, bro, just put one of them there and put me on the other side. And they're like, oh, we don't want a 17-year-old or whatever running. I'm like, dude, they're not really running anything. They're listening to what I'm saying, and they're going to send how I want to send.
You really just need someone to stand there.
Just stand there.
Sell the food.
Yeah, that's it.
But I think that's good to have because like you're so much more valuable on the line because like you know all the stations, you know everything, you're fast, you know all the sets. So it's like you're wasting that by just standing out there reading tickets off.
And then that too, that kind of goes for my growth is like I said before, is once I start to feel like stuck, I'm like, bro, this ain't it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get someone to fill that role. We are hiring a new sous chef a couple weeks from now. Kind of get him ready for the summer, get through the summer, and then get me the fuck out of there, on to newer and better things. I think I want to start like messing around with some cooking Mexican style food and like learning a little bit about that style of cooking because I want to be able to, like I see them at Candela, they're coming down, they're making pasta, they're making bread.
You want to be able to like get creative like
yeah,
that
I want
to contribute.
At least show them that I have some type of knowledge, because like at this point, being with them for so long, I've kind of been out of the cooking part of it and more into like the managing and so I want to be off my fucking game when it's game time. I want them to still see value other than I can order food and I can write a schedule and I can hire people. Like I want them to know that I can still cook, and it's primarily going to be, Spanish speaking people. So I want to be able to relate to them. I want them to know, because I know for them it's big culturally. They're going to look at me and be like, this guy don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, you got to have your shit together.
Yeah, so I think that's important.
It is, dude. I mean, like, I think that's really smart. When I thought I was going to go to National Club, I had a similar thought where I was like, I need to know how to make a tortilla. Like, I need to know how to make a mole. I need to know how to make, like, a pico de gallo. Like, just, like, all those things. Like, make a really nice guacamole.
Yeah.
I think making tortillas, too, is, like, cool. To me, that's, like, making pasta.
Right.
It's like you're making your own corn tortillas. You're making your own flour tortillas. Sure, it's annoying. And it's labor. But, like, that's the difference between every other restaurant who gets the same tortillas from Sid Wainer or Cisco, and like this is the Mexican spot to be at because we are getting homemade flour tortillas and they have such a better texture.
Yeah,
it's like a little bit of extra time and effort and a little bit of like prior knowledge and research like really pays off when it's on the plate.
Yeah, no, for definite. That's
no, I think that's great, and I think that's going to be a good role for you too, like going into a head chef role for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think you're ready for that.
I'm excited for sure. It's good to have the practice being with Yehudi.
Yeah, because he's like, he gets it done and he's quiet. He's like a quiet killer.
That I'm trying to take a little bit more from him, is kind of quieting myself and just all about the business, and sometimes I'll come in and I'll be just about that action, you know. Everyone's like, "What's wrong? You everything all right? What's wrong?" I'm like, "I'm chilling, man. I just business,
Focus
baby.
today.
Yeah, I'm just focusing, bro. That's it." Because I mean, I can. What I've realized is actually me and Gabino just kind of talked about this. Is we're in this role because we've already proved that we can do whatever it is they want us to do, and we'll fuck around, we'll joke, but we get our work done. And so people see the fuck around side and be like, "Oh, I can do that," and they can't. And there's a reason why we are in the position that we're in, and we are who we are, is because we take the job getting done as number one. Just because I can fuck around all day and still have all my shit done, that doesn't mean
you're fucking around.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean I'm really fucking around it, because the job's getting done.
You just make it look easy because you know like you have your shit together.
Right, but the problem with that is that people see that and they think they can do that, and so I have to be better at understanding that, which is kind of a weird thing to think about. Like, I don't want to say everybody's watching me, but everybody's paying attention to what I'm doing.
100%.
So it's like, if I'm to them fucking around, they don't see that I'm doing all this. So they see the fuck around part. So I kind of want to get away from that a little. And, getting older, kitchen keeps me young because, we're hiring younger staff. They're, in their early 20s. And so I'm getting to a point where my role is changing now. Is like, I kind of have to lead better, in a sense that all these younger people that are coming on, they want to see the action, the work get done. Where I try to be cool and make it light, sometimes can bite me in the ass, because then now I'm not getting the full potential of someone, because they're like, "Oh, you're gonna have a good day today." It's like, yeah, we will. It's up to you, because I'm gonna have a good day no matter what. But what are we getting done together to make it so everybody has a good day? So,
fuck yeah.
Got a couple of things I got to work on with it, as far as that, but it's tough because that's who I am. So then it becomes, well, am I gonna get away from who I am to suit a role at a job? Like, that's tough, because it's so much about, like we say, the people, the personality, everybody working together. So now you're kind of trying to reinvent yourself a little bit and have this new path for yourself, but now you're struggling with overthinking things. Maybe, oh, should I not have said that? Should I not have done it? So then it's always like a struggle to kind of find that common ground, that middle ground, to be able to get it done and have a good time, because this fucking job sucks.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just food too, and I think that's important to remember, because sometimes it gets very overwhelming.
Yeah,
but you have to just remember, you're just you're feeding people, taking care of people, making sure they're having a good night.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what's really important. People go out and spending their money. It's their birthday, anniversary, or something. You got to make that night special.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the difference between people that think that they work in the food and beverage industry, and then people who look at it as the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
Is because you really are, it's a lot more apparent to me I hate saying fine dining restaurants because I feel like it's cringe, but restaurants that are closer to the upper echelon, really, really great restaurants, it's very obvious that you're being taken care of.
Right.
They take your coat at the door, hello, Mr. Roy. It's very they know who's coming, they know your allergies, they know why you're there, they know what's happening in your life today.
Right.
Because you filled out a survey before you came. They're locked in. They know your name. They know your partner's name. They know your kid's name. It's they're taking care of you, and all they care about in that moment is I want you to have a good night. You were here to spend a lot of money tonight potentially, and we are taking care of you.
Yep.
And that's everything to me. It's just making it special. And I feel like it's easy to forget that, because even when I started at the Whale, I remember I said to my dad at one point, I was like, "Oh yeah, this and that," and it was just lunch service. And he was like, "It's not just lunch service." He doesn't even work in the industry, but he was like, "It's not just lunch service. That's the one meal that person could be spending money on today, and they're spending their hard-earned money, their time, because money is just time that you trade when you work." And it's they're spending their hard-earned money and time to come and eat there. It's you better fucking make it special every time. Lunch, dinner, doesn't matter, breakfast, everything. It's important. It's very true.
Yeah, because they're choosing to choose you, really.
Yeah, there's so many restaurants, and they're choosing here. You better make it special.
Yeah, That definitely gets lost in translation
Mm-hmm.
when you got fucking 30 tickets. So
yeah, that's the challenge, man, is making sure people feel taken care of when it's when you're like not only having a hard time, but like it's hard to take care of yourself as a cook and as a chef. Like we talked about that a little bit earlier, just like even eating like healthy habits.
Right.
It's like hard when you're really working a lot. Like it gets challenging like that.
Yeah. That's why vacation time is a must. You got to take those vacations.
Got to take care of yourself.
Unplug for a little while. That way you can get yourself right when you come back. It's very important. I'm looking forward to it. I have a little mini one this week. I was off yesterday, off today, off tomorrow. Then it's Merry Christmas, and then back to getting slammed on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to be away for a few days.
I remember you said earlier that like you would want to try like working in a kitchen, like a kitchen that's a little bit like nicer and getting that experience and seeing it. You totally should. Like 100. Like you reach out to these places. Like your resumes, like you have tons of experience. So like just reach out to them, send them an email. Just be like, yo, here's my resume. Like I'd love to come stage, like work for you. Like maybe you have to do it for free, but it's like
I wouldn't even mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a day. So like I think people get all up in arms about working for free, but it's, I mean, for an extended period of time, obviously it's fucked up. I've worked for an extended period of time for free. It sucks.
Yeah.
But just going and taking a day or 3 days or a week or something and like just like it's insight.
Yeah.
Like you just seeing how people work and operate and like it's awesome. Like really you can get a lot just from like a couple hours and just like how they talk to each other, the percent, like everything. Like you can really learn a lot just by like brushing shoulders
right
with some of these people.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I wouldn't really care to get compensated for it. The compensation is like the time that you're spending seeing it from a different angle, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's actually something to that. If you're not getting paid, you get a lot more out of it because you're not like, oh, I made $100 today. It's not just for a paycheck. You're like, okay, I'm only getting my experience out of this right now, so I better fucking get the whole cake.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I've even thought of that with just taking classes, learn how to butcher better or whatever, just something else to kind of spark my interest because I
dude, you should totally stage around if you're looking to be inspired for sure. It's great. Even just eating, it's like I just ate at the French Laundry, like lucky enough to get a reservation there, and I was like, we ate there, and I'm like, dude, that was like an inspiring meal, like genuine, like eating. And if it would have been great if I could have staged, but they do a month stage, so you need to do it for 30 days. They won't let you do it for less, which I think is nice because you get to really be involved.
Right.
But we were only there for a couple of days, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, just get inspired, man.
That's crazy.
Find shit that's cool to you.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, you got to put me onto these fucking little fancy spots, dude, that you guys go to. I'd love to have a elevated meal. Seems like
dude. You haven't eaten at Little Moss, right?
Nah.
Yeah, we'll go eat there. So what's cool is when I do start working full time, I'm going to be working because they have Monday, Tuesdays off.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Fridays, I'm not going to be working at night because I'm starting jiu-jitsu and they do no gi at 5 p.m., which is like what I really want to be doing. So I'm not going to work Friday nights. So yeah, Friday nights would be a good time to do that. I know you're always working Friday nights, but we'll figure it out. If you ever have a Friday off, we can go to Little Moss or go somewhere and
just randomly take a Friday off if I want to.
Yeah,
I mean, they can't hold it against me that much, man. No, I'm entitled to fucking take your life time. Yeah, no shit.
No, but you would like. I mean, you could even come stage at Little Moss. Like I'm sure, like I just started there, but like Lisa's so cool. Like just come and just like probably just like make some pasta. Just like
it's like stuff I've never done.
Yeah, but man, it's like it's really cool. Like my day to day this week was like, I mean, I've mostly been on the pasta station, and it's really been like making extruded pastas like rigatoni and garganelli. And then I learned how to make agnolotti, which is like a folding one, which I'd never made before. It's kind of like a ravioli.
Yeah.
And seeing it go from like raw ingredients to dough to pasta to in the pan to on the plate.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That would be really
very,
cool.
very cool. Because like I remember on my stage I made them. And then we like went through all the ones I already made. And then I was like, oh, those are the agnolottis that I made today. And like we're sending it to guests. It's really cool.
Yeah. And
it makes you care a little bit more because they're not all uniform out of a bag and they're not frozen. So if you make one too small, like it looks fucked up, and now you serve 9 instead of 8.
Yeah.
And if you make it too long, now you're serving 7 instead. So it's like you try to make them all uniform, but you realize everything's made from machines, and everything's so uniform. But making things by hand really like it almost makes it even better to me, because it's like it's slightly imperfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Sure. Yeah, I'm so used to the other side of it that it would be cool to see that side. Get my hands dirty a little bit.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Instead of ripping open a bag and fucking throwing some dry ass pasta in some boiling water.
It's cool, man. It's cool. I want to ask one more question before we finish this up, but I asked, this is going to be the anchor question, I think, is just like, why do you cook? And if you like, if money was no object, would you still choose to cook?
Yeah, I mean, so why I cook? Yeah, I think the money. I've never been one to chase money. I grew up poor. I didn't have a lot of things, so like having money, material things doesn't really matter to me. I like the cooking aspect because it's like we said, someone's coming to you for a certain event or a certain time in their life that they want this meal, and if I can have a hand in making someone's day, night, whatever their experience, a good one, then I'll do that every time. I'm very much a people pleaser. I want everyone to be happy. I want everyone to be in good spirits. I want everybody to be enjoying themselves, and so there's nothing I think that can be more enjoyable than someone cooking a meal for you, you eating that meal, and it's satisfying whatever you were out looking for that night. So if I can have a hand in someone else's happiness, that's great for me. That's kind of what I like to do. I'm not really much about myself as it is other people. So to be in the restaurant industry, that's all you're there for is other people. So I think that's why I thrive in that type of environment for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then also, what's your happiest food memory?
My happiest food memory,
or the food memory that you like hold, or something, like a food memory that you just hold near and dear.
It's always a disaster story for me. So I can remember I was leading prep, and I hadn't really done it that often, and so I was very much out of my element. But I knew I had enough skill level to like we can get by, we can do this. And I'm downstairs. Hey, we got to cook these raviolis. I have the sauce upstairs. I'm going to bring the sauce down here. We're going to mix the sauce. You're going to take care of raviolis. And I come downstairs. Sauce is hot as shit. I throw it in the blender. I'm not thinking because I'm just kind of, trying in survival mode at that point. And she's making the ravioli. She's pulling the raviolis out. They're fucked. They're just the fillings coming out. It's just a mess. I turned the blender on. I forgot to put the cover on. The fucking sauce comes shooting out of the blender. Sauce all over the ceiling. Raviolis fucked up. And we just both look at each other and we just start dying laughing. Because you're like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
So man. That's a good memory for me because, ultimately we were able to get some sauce made and we got some raviolis made and, everything went fine. But to be able to have a good moment in the chaos is those moments stick with me because it's like, man, like, yeah, we made that happen that day, but fuck off.
Dude. Those are always the craziest days when you're like, that felt impossible at the moment. Yep. And then looking back, you're like, fuck yeah, we did it. Crushed that shit.
Yeah. So the moments of chaos, to be able to laugh in the moments of chaos, those are always going to be my culinary stories for sure.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks, man. Shit. Yeah.
Episode 2. Hell yeah. Let's cut this shit.